Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back to another great night with the Ladies First panel. We are back. We got a few things in store for you guys. A lot to talk about today. So let me know that you guys are ready by making sure that you all come in, show some respect. Okay, be quiet, have a seat, hit the like button, honey, as you come on in. All right. The ladies are getting ready. As you guys like up the video, share the video. Okay, they are getting ready. Ladies, are you ready?
Ready? I'm smiling too hard.
Hilarious.
Let's
Hey
go.
y'all, what's up?
Hi.
Listen, what was in my
Hey.
head was thinking, oh, it's ladies night. And the
And the
feeling
feeling's
is right.
right.
I don't know why that was in my head when I was like, "Are y'all ready?" I'm like, "Dang, why we can play that music and I have to pay all them ladies for it?"
Listen,
Anyway,
I saw the where my girls at, and I was like, from the front to
the
back,
bad
what is
thing
you
is you
feeling
feeling
that?
that.
Or what is it? It's the ladies leave your man at home. Look at the
Look
looks
at the
good.
look,
Uh,
and they pockets full grown,
and you
and
fell
now you
asleep
fell
here with
asleep
a friend.
with a friend.
It's
Because
11
it's 11:30 and the
and
club is
jump, jump.
jumping.
That used to be my shit. That was a really
See?
good album.
Oh, it was every song. Okay, she
Yeah,
can't love you. Okay, come
that
on, you
was.
little.
They don't make it like that no more. They try,
They
but they can't.
don't.
Mm-mm.
Back when
Mm-mm.
every album had a good gospel track right before the last one, it was either inspirational or a gospel track right before
Yes,
the last song.
yes, at least one. I feel like everybody used to do that back in the day.
They did. I'm thinking about
Girl.
Destiny Child, Eve, Trina. Like
Damn,
everybody
even
was
Trina did that too?
Yeah,
yes.
I believe Eve. I
Um,
don't know about Trina,
yeah, Trina,
but Eve, yeah.
Trina had, I can't remember, I gotta go back and look at that first one. But Eve had Heaven Only Knows. That shit used to have a bitch all in their feelings listening to that shit. So yeah, I'm about to see which one it was for Trina. Hold up, because y'all know I got her whole
Now, see,
library.
listen, Nicole, you is a messy girl. Starting off with the already. Thomas, son, y'all hold up, don't start yet. Let me check on this baby on the side of 331. Girl, listen. We're
Trina
gonna
had a
talk
song for
about
her
it.
mama. There you go.
Mm.
Hilarious. Thank you for the super
Trina had a
chat.
song called Mama.
Oh, it was called Mama. Hold on.
Yep.
On which album was that?
On the Baddest Beach. On
The
the first
first
one.
one?
On the first album.
Her
Ah,
The
mom was
second
her
to
mama
last
alive?
track is Mama.
no,
Her
she
mama just
passed.
died like what, 5 years
Oh.
ago, I think.
I think that's about
Because it
right.
was it
Because
was
it's been 4 years
pre-pandemic.
since pandemic, yeah, or maybe 3 years
Yeah.
since pandemic. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So listen, I have a question that just popped up that I wanted to ask y'all about. Um, just a quick little something. Y'all know this actor strike is happening. At first, it was writer strike. Now it's actor strike, and they're calling on, like, not only are the actors striking. I believe they have, like, if you're working in background, any form of production, I think they want
Mhm.
everybody to just cease what they're doing. And now they're calling on digital content creators to join in and be a part of that, which is, who they're also calling influencers. And I wanted to get y'all thoughts on that and how y'all feel. Now, if you're not a part of SAG, they say you can still help and contribute by, like, not like covering certain type of shows or whatever, on certain platforms or whatever. And then they also said that if you are seeking to be in SAG at some point, if they know that you, let me read this, they say any non-member seeking future membership in SAG-AFTRA who performs covered work or services for a struck company during the strike will not be admitted into membership into the organization. And I had to look up struck company, and I didn't fully get a definition of what it was, but they had different, I guess, companies like Walt Disney, Amazon Studios, uh, and they said a host of others, but I didn't get the full list. But what are you guys? What are your thoughts about that? Them wanting creators to join in on that.
So, okay, the strike initially started because they weren't paying writers enough, right?
Correct.
And then the actors and actresses decided to stand in alliance.
Mm-hmm. For themselves, because a lot of the big studios, they be making millions. I'm talking about like double, triple digits, but the
I'm
actors
not
don't get the same.
not understanding what that has to do with influencers. Unless like you feel like you're not being managed properly and you're not getting a cut, I can see you going on strike. But a lot of the influencers are independent contractors. You work for yourself. So
Right.
why would the influencers who make 1/10 of what the actors do join in? It just doesn't make sense to me, and it don't sound beneficial to people who work for themselves.
And also because you're not in a union. Like, let me tell y'all, when I was a photographer, I was in the union. So I absolutely am for unions. But social media content creators don't have one. So unless SAG-AFTRA is about to create a union for content creators so we can have some checks and balances,
That would
please
be
don't
dope.
fall. That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's not that we want to cover, because most of us, I feel like we might cover reality shows, but can we cover a show that's not on right now because everybody's on strike? Like, let me know. But ultimately, I don't see how you can ask the content creators to make that type of sacrifice without also offering them the same protections.
Right.
That doesn't
I
make
think
any
that's
sense.
I've been kind of conflicted on my thoughts and not sure how I want to, because I feel like I'm still kind of processing it. With me, at some point I would like to be in the acting field. If it doesn't happen, I'm starting to feel like that's fine, because y'all be having a lot going on over there. But
Don't they?
I'm in a rock and a hard place too. I was like, I need to read up on this a bit more, because what if somebody is like, they may do a YouTube channel, they may vlog, right? Just to make extra money, but on the side they go out and they do their acting, and they're this close to becoming a member. What if they may vlog, or they may talk about certain shows, and maybe their main show could have been, let's say, Game of Thrones. Like, what, so they can't talk about that no more? I think reality shows is not an issue. I believe it's the scripted things that are more of the issue. So I gotta get more insight on that, because I don't want to speak too soon myself. But I didn't know if you guys were aware of it, and if you were, what your thoughts were about that. But I kind of have similar feelings, in a sense. But if you know that you want to go on and be in SAG-AFTRA at some point, and you make it into that organization, then they're fighting for your future. If you get in it, you know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure that you are paid fairly, especially for people like, it's crazy. It's a lot. Like, if you like, a lot of the stuff that be filmed, some of that stuff don't even be here in America. And if, let's say you live in California and you probably got to fly out to Georgia, but you don't live here. You got to get housing. If you here for 3 months, you got to find housing. You got to get a car. It's certain things you got to do. You probably leaving your family behind. So it's certain accommodations that they need to be able to make. So I understand why they're fighting for this, because it's not fair if you only getting paid, let's say, $20,000 for those whole 3 months, but you got to pay for your mortgage and your bills and stuff back home, and then you got to pay for Airbnb or a place to stay here on top of rent a vehicle and making it to set and all this extra stuff. And that could eat away. And then with that 20,000, you also got to pay your agent and your manager if you got that. Like, girl, you could look up and only made $2,000 after you done spent everything out. But you done gave so much of your time, hours and hours on set, and you're not fully being accommodated. So I do understand that. But if you know that this is the industry that you really want to go into, just be mindful, I suppose, and be up to date on what the rules are, so it doesn't hinder your acceptance later. Thank you so much, D Johnson, for the super chat. We are headed into a national strike and possibly a recession. The country's workforce is fed up across the board. I agree. I feel like we are already in a recession. I also saw, I think it was in Canada, it was like 300 residents that just striked on paying their rent. They was like, we done. Ain't nobody finna pay. Like, girl, messed up my credit, but when you mess it up, everybody finna be messed up. So that's just what we
I
at.
was here for it. I could not stand all of the people in the comments calling the protesters lazy. What's protesting gonna do? They're gonna be kicked out tomorrow. I'm like, y'all are Americans, so I feel like y'all should kind of shut up, because other places have more rights and more checks and balances in a lot of these areas. So when they protest, it actually does something for them. Versus here in America, where they're literally probably putting you in the situation to protest because they want heightened emotions for whatever their overall goal is. Y'all know American people like to think 20, 30 years in advance about how they're about to mess over you. So, I feel like a lot of the things that force us to revolt are sometimes like done on purpose. And so all of this stuff happening at the same time, like especially down here, for instance, in Louisiana, they got rid of a whole bunch of insurance companies that insure our homes.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. So we had to go and find a whole new insurance company in like a month because they ended up closing down in less time than they thought they would. Now my mortgage has increased $500 because we had to get insurance from one of the small amount of insurance companies available in this area. So
Wow.
I'm thinking that y'all are trying to make it harder for us to live here so that y'all can kick us out of this area so that you can probably repopulate it with people who have more money that will pay more, I'm guessing, because that's what y'all do. But this is like the suburbs. You gonna gentrify the suburbs?
They will.
That is crazy. I believe that so much. That is crazy. And you know what's pissing me off? All of these changes that we making in the government or whatever y'all over there doing, ain't nobody gonna say nothing, or even just on a local level or just like, like state, city, y'all not gonna say nothing to prevent these people from raising prices. I just feel like you shouldn't like, especially like with rent. I've seen somebody say their rent went up $2,000
Ooh.
and they
Ooh.
thought that they were going to be
Where's
able
that at?
to buy. Where did I see that at? I think it was on TikTok. I think I saw
I
it on
saw a
TikTok.
lot of people talking about rent going up.
I think it was on TikTok. It's either TikTok or Instagram. And they said their rent was going up $2,000, but they thought that they were going to be able to buy a home in enough time to not have to, renew their lease or whatever. But something fell through. I don't know if it was like it was too expensive to buy a home or something happened.
Because the rates was high as ever.
But they had to renew their lease. And I'm like, for who? Absolutely not. Girl, just put me on the street. Like, I'm just let me, girl, give me a box because y'all it's not gonna play. Just let me be in my car.
Real. If it wasn't for the weather, listen, being homeless is not that bad. Okay. If you can find somewhere to go and sleep at night where you're safe and you can take a bath somewhere every day, a shower somewhere every day, it's really not that bad depending on what city you live in. Because to me, these bills, girl, they will stress you out. Them people that live under the bridge don't have no worries except for where I'm going to beg at and where I'm gonna get cleaned up when it's time for me to get cleaned up.
Right.
And I hope don't nobody remove all my stuff from my spot.
Y'all know I love my documentaries and cult stuff. It wasn't until I started paying bills to where I was like, this is why these people was going to Jonestown and going everywhere else
and creating their own.
This is why. Because for the longest, I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? Now I'm like, this made perfect sense. Bills and having to work and do the same thing every day will make you do that. You're trying to find any way out.
I think they should put a cap though on how high rent can go. I just don't think that you should be able to just increase like that much. It's like they're trying to force you to move out. Like, girl, what?
To me, there needs to be a percentage based on the median income. And I feel like they don't do that. They just kind of allow it to be whatever it is. They create whatever circumstances in the area, like blighted properties, those types of situations, lower the property value, force everybody out, and then buy it all up for cheap, and then revitalize the community and make billions of dollars off of, So I think it's important to own land. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe that very strongly. But at the same time, my husband and I have definitely been talking about where else can we live? Because as much as I love living here, like I really love living in Louisiana. I'm going to just keep it a buck. Like, I hate the government of it all. I hate the politics. I hate the damn heat. I hate hurricane season. But the food and the roots that I have here, everywhere ain't like here. You know what I'm saying? It's a very place. And so, you can't get that vibe everywhere. So I'm like,
I can't think about nowhere where you would.
Like Cali. Cali is the only place in some parts of Florida. I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I went out there to see Tasha in Fort Lauderdale, I was kind of like, I could do this. This is cute. I could do this.
Okay. Hurricane, weather.
That's me. I'm not trying to rush from the bottom of the state trying to get the hell out when they be like, evacuate.
The only thing, and I agree. That's why I was like, I need to go somewhere else. But the only thing about it that I thought about is that their infrastructure is made for it.
See,
so
that's a good point.
Here.
No. It is a difference because of the governor that's over there that's running the motherfucking mug. Did y'all hear what he just did? He just made a decision that enslaved people learned skills that benefited them in the future or something. He just tried to change history in some sort. Let me see.
That's what Kamala Harris was going off about, huh?
I want to, girl, let me see. I want to read this verbatim because this right here done pissed me off. He says, Florida just approved new Black history standards that includes noting enslaved people developed skills that could be applied for their personal benefit. This is what he said. Not apply for their personal, but what was a benefit to us when y'all still profiting off of the that happened in slavery a long time ago?
And not even just that, but if we want to be very specific, the sharecropping that you're speaking of, that they became fluid in during Reconstruction, Black people owned a whole bunch of land. Y'all stole that land. Y'all came and killed the people, on those towns in Florida and all of those places. Y'all came and y'all killed all of the people and then covered those cities in water. Y'all did it all over the country. So in different buildings,
Tulsa,
bomb the hell out some of them cities.
Okay, bomb the hell out of with government planes. So if we're gonna talk about how we learned sharecropping for our benefit during slavery, we should also point out that during the agricultural era after Reconstruction, DeSantis, which is stupid ass, okay, a lot of our land was taken from us, so we could not continue to be sharecroppers. On top of that, the agricultural, industrial complex that's been created since Reconstruction makes it so that most local farmers don't make a lot of money or don't make a good living. And then monopolized companies come into the sector and push them out. Okay. They've made TV shows about it on OWN back before it was the Oppressed Women's Network. Somebody good. Queen Sugar. Okay. Somebody Queen Sugar. So it's crazy how somebody so ignorant can actually try to affect like the government and the history that totally ignores the actual present day realities of the situation. Delusional. Get him out of here. But let's remember Kamala. I saw right before we came up here, Kamala Harris was on Instagram going off about it. And I just want to remind her, she's the same one that got up there and said that racism was not a construct of our nation. Remember when she got up there and said that our nation wasn't racist?
No, what she say to her?
What?
Embarrassed.
I don't remember that.
Not too long after she got into the White House, she got up there and said that the country was not innately racist. It was like something similar. I'm not saying it verbatim, but that's what she was saying, that this is not a racist country. That's what she said. And I was just like, where do you live?
Then after that, she pulled a Carlee Russell and nobody's seen her for months.
B.I.T.
We did it, Joe.
Bro, we're going to be taking a lot of shots at Carlee on this. I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be a lot of shots thrown, ain't it?
She said, you don't see me.
Period. Okay. Vanish like a thief in the night. Thank you so much for the super chat, Mr. Shalaki. I just wanted to say you ladies look so pretty. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
D. Johnson says France been on strike for almost 2 months, and right now the trash does not get picked up because their president raised the minimum retirement age by 2 years. We gave in too easy after MLK died. Wow. Thank you for the super chat, Diva Nicole. Remember, this is after he banned the teaching of African American studies and diversity training for companies, and did.
They want to rewrite it.
And to be clear, we didn't give up too easily. Girl, go watch Dear Mama on Hulu, and Tupac will explain to you how it was a setup from the very beginning.
Yes, like, you're right.
Oh, was it good?
It was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
It transcended what it was about. Like it transcended being just about Tupac. The biggest lesson I learned was that you can't be a revolutionary for Black people. Like that's the biggest lesson I learned. That's why everybody talking that shit, but you can't be a revolutionary for Black people because they're the same people that'll tear you down. I just put up a video today. I wasn't even gonna do that. Jamie, you told me put my Instagram videos on YouTube. So I was like, I'm gonna put this shit up because I don't feel like doing nothing today besides editing. So I put the video up and I was basically going off because an Asian comedian made a joke about how Black people can't swim. So it was stupid for them to create the Black Little Mermaid. And he's like, LaQuisha, grab a hold of this chicken leg.
Oh my
I'm like, this is ridiculous. Of course, Black people can swim. You know, if you can't swim, it's probably because you didn't have access and you did not learn, but it's not because you innately as a Black person should not be in the water. That's ridiculous. Most of us on this planet that are Black live near water, i.e. Caribbean people, African people, those of us that live
Right.
on the coast of this country.
And they had a bit of that in that movie. Yeah, what did he? Yeah, he should have got dragged for that. I mean, our comedians still get
But
dragged
it's the
for,
Black people. It's the Black
what
people
they
though. It was the
say.
Black people. It was the Black people coming at me talking about how they couldn't swim and everybody they knew couldn't swim. And it is true though. And the joke wasn't a bad joke because it was racist. It was just a bad joke. That's the stuff I was hearing from other Black people. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not caping for you motherfuckers no more. I'm not defending y'all. If a racist person wants to come up and say something that's whack, lazy, and doesn't really make any sense, and y'all want to go for it, by all means, go at it. I deleted my comment.
Go at it.
You said you deleted what?
Her comment.
I deleted my comment. I said I ain't gonna cape for y'all no more. Y'all ain't gotta comment no more and tell me how y'all really can't swim. Even though I learned how to swim because my mom swam. My mom lived in a projects and swam. So it's not always about, oh, we lived, no. Like, I don't know where y'all get that from.
No.
You need to learn how to swim though. That's a survival need that you need to know how to do as far as I'm concerned, child.
Yeah, I had to take swimming lessons when I was little.
Me too.
I've always wanted to, and I haven't. I know how to swim a little bit. Just a little. A little. So I'm gonna try and get back out
drown. But you should.
Doggy paddle.
And see, because I'm so short, I don't be going over. I know my feet. So I don't pass a certain feet, and I keep it, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at. But I do need to get back out there. That is definitely something that I have thought about. So I need to go to a YMCA because I've always wanted to learn how to swim, and I've always wanted to know how to play basketball. Because I think it's so cool when they be bouncing between their legs and then they be like, I want to know how to do that. I really do.
We're playing back. Y'all remember that shit? Child, don't get me started.
I do. I remember that.
I have a love for basketball players. That was Bow Wow, wasn't it?
You talking about like Mike?
I thought it was, yeah, for like Mike.
Like Mike. Yeah. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
Back when we used to like him. Back when his head wasn't too big for his body. Exactly.
I realized how small he was when a flashback was going around of when Tyra Banks kissed him. I said, dang, she make him look like this. Like he looks so little. Like what was we looking at?
Too in comparison to him. Yeah, what was we looking at? Because I really used to love some Bow Wow for real.
You know what we was looking at? We was looking at Light Eyes.
It was the eyes.
I think it was the eyes. And his head wasn't as big. And he was still like small. So it made sense for him to be that small. But once you got older and you was still that same size, you was giving Lil Duval up around the shoulders and the head. Like to me, I feel
Lil
like
Duval. Stop.
Yes, y'all know how Lil Duval got a big ass head and little bitty shoulders. That's embarrassing to me. I feel like you need to do your push-ups if your head that big and your shoulders that small. Work that out.
Want wiggity want. All right, so listen. I got something I want us to talk about as we, it's more so about friends, and this conversation constantly comes up, but this is a particular video where these friends went out to eat, and I'm just going to let y'all see how it played out. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what they talk about.
Only paying for what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill?
You got lamb chop, you got steak.
Look at all that. Look at what all they got. And they talking about splitting the bill.
Girl, he looks strange.
What did you come out for? We come together and split the bill. So again, my thing is, y'all doing too much.
Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that going on.
Okay, you know what's funny to me? That I don't see no women arguing that they should split the bill, that they shouldn't split the bill. It's all women and one dude that's like, if you couldn't split the bill, why did you even come? But the dudes, y'all broke asses shouldn't have came. Y'all trying to stun and be cute with y'all friends that got shit, but y'all ain't got shit.
Well, I did hear, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that the bill that they was arguing about was $4,200.
Yes,
it
correct.
was Google people though, wasn't it?
It was 42 or 4,600. I don't know.
I mean, it didn't look like
we couldn't see the whole table.
Yeah, we didn't even count 10 people.
2, 4. We know it's at least 5 over there. 2 boys standing up. These 3 young ladies here. And then it's another young lady and a guy.
That's 5,
okay.
6, 7.
4,200. And she said, we come together, we split the bill together, period. First of all, I have to object. If you're not my people and I don't fuck with y'all like that at this table, do not expect me to pay for your steak, your filet mignon, or whatever you got. And so it depends on
He said, y'all niggas got lamb chops.
you know what I'm saying, to each other for me to split the bill. And it's like y'all talking about come together, we split the bill together, but sometimes y'all come together and don't even leave together. That's the thing for me. When y'all go to parties, y'all don't even really have each other's back, but you want them to have your back on a bill? Absolutely not. I was gonna be him with the dread standing up. Absolutely not, ma'am. Go ahead and run just my check. Run just mine. Cause you think you and see, that's the thing. I understand if we may call them broke because they're complaining, but the people sitting down was the ones that was broke to me because y'all got all this expensive stuff and just knew
And
you was gonna split it amongst all these 7 people. Whatever.
Let me be devil's advocate because they look like they're not at a restaurant where there's anything cheap. And that somebody, to me, if there is 10 people and it's a $4,200 bill, that's like almost everybody spent $400 on their meal, is what that tells me.
I just still can't comprehend. I have been, okay, maybe I ain't been to this type of restaurant, but when I go to an expensive restaurant, it'd be $200. You can spend $200.
But that gratuity may flame you up.
And the liquor, the drinks. We talking about cocktails that's like $18.
That's what I was gonna add in next, Bondy. The liquor is what make people get to arguing because you get people who come and they bring their boyfriend or girlfriend. That's one ticket right there, but you want to split the ticket 15 ways. So you want somebody to cover. Then on top of that, you ordering drink after drink after drink after drink after drink. And it's somebody at the table who don't even drink. And you still want somebody to split it with you? That's insane. Now I see if like y'all all spent about the same amount. Like I went to dinner with a friend and she was girl, I said I need to stop fucking with her after this. That's what I said.
I love DC friend stories. Let's get into it.
Y'all, as much as I tell y'all gonna be like, she the problem. She the problem. No, I went to, actually, it's like twofolds to this story. And I'm surprised I didn't talk to y'all about this on my channel. So the first part is it's a friend and she always talking about like how much money she makes. And anyway, we go to like this wine place and we order like a bunch of everything shared plates. So a bunch of like tapas and stuff like that. We all drink about the same amount. And then I got like an extra truffle fry. Whenever the dude came, she talking about, and we all shared. She said, I'll take the, and the guy was like, I can't split the bill 4 ways. He said, but you can scan this app and you can decide what you want to take. And I was just like, are you serious? The difference was like $56 and $65. Like, girl, what? So
and she didn't want to split the bill.
She didn't want to split the bill, but she ended up doing it. But when that happened, I was like, now why would you do that? Like, just in general, I don't like to do that because I typically go to like average places to eat. If we spending $100, that's fine. We can split it. But you talking about $4,200 is different.
I just want to be clear right quick to everybody who's like in the comments going in on me.
I didn't see anything.
Me neither.
I saw one comment. I was like, oh, they want my attention real bad. You want my attention real bad, but I ain't gonna give it to you. But I'm just gonna say this. Like, I understand what y'all are saying, but I feel like what I am used to seeing is people knowing they can't afford some shit and still going and wanting to like order the smallest thing on the fucking menu so that they don't have to fully be involved in the paying process. That was my first feeling from this, and also recognizing that why didn't you look at the menu beforehand and see how much shit costs? Because I've gotten lamb chops. That's not, even if that's the most expensive thing on the menu, I'm going to keep it a buck. If you can't afford the most expensive thing on the menu when you go, and I'm talking about just yourself, you probably shouldn't go to that place. And most times people be trying to go somewhere where they can't afford to go. And they was trying to act like they was cool with the shit until the bill came around. And now you want to get loud and argue and have this uncomfortable conversation in front of everybody.
Embarrassing.
Okay, I'm going to play back devil's advocate. So my question is this. You said they probably shouldn't go, right? But you know how some friends will have their birthday function. And if you know you can't go, if you tell them you ain't going to go, they get heavily offended by that. So how should one...
That's when you wait. You say, hey, I can't make it to the dinner. You ain't even got to say, I ain't got it. You just say, I can't go, but I'm going to take you out. Just me and you.
Later on. Yeah.
Later on.
And then another thing I want to know is, was it discussed if they were going to do that beforehand? That's another thing. Was that discussed beforehand?
I didn't say the second fold. I didn't say the second fold, y'all.
What's the second fold?
I went to a friend's birthday dinner in January, and it's this restaurant called STK. I don't know if they're in other places, but STK is like really okay. It's real cute, one of them cute restaurants, and they expensive for no reason because it's like steakhouse prices, but the service ain't really steakhouse. Ooh. Anyway, we go, and it was like 12 of us, and it was like 4 people at the table that did not eat for one person's birthday. They didn't eat it all. And then I already knew the waiter was like, these niggas ain't gonna pay nothing, because when she came, she asked us what appetizers we wanted, then brought out the free bread. Because you knew at a table full of Black people, the people who didn't have the money wasn't going to order no appetizers. They were just going to eat the bread. So I was like, okay, I already felt some type of way about it. So she waited till the whole thing over, and she talking about it all got to be on one check. Mind you, everybody spending like $150. So whenever they brought out the check, everybody's sitting there. And it's like, damn, that should have been discussed, because now somebody got to put $1,600 on their credit card and then rely on people to give them the money back. So certain people, I was sitting there like, I'm not running up $1,600, but I will Zelle the money. And trifling ass people was coming up to the girl like, here's $100 bill. Here you go. Nah, bitch. You spent $150. Where's my? So it's just too much. It's some things that should be discussed. To your point, Bondy, is everything gonna be on one ticket? Let us know before we go. And if it's your birthday and you hosting, go get your credit card, go get your little Cash App card, whatever you need to get to make it as easy as possible.
Now, see, what I would do is call the restaurant ahead of time to find out, especially if I want people to come out for me. I want everybody to be accommodated. First of all, I got to shout out Chantel Renee, because I really liked how she did her birthday function. We went to this dope spot called Rocksteady here in Atlanta. I've never been, and they sell Caribbean food. That's what it is. And it was so good. But what she did was she called ahead, found out whatever details, gave everybody the estimated price. Right. And I think we probably paid like $100 a piece or whatever. She had quite a few people that came out, and they already had a ready set menu made for us. And it was a great, and she's a vegetarian, but like it was, or vegan. I think it's vegan. Don't quote me. But either way, it was a great menu. They had stuff for her and people that, eat certain things like her. And then they had stuff for us. It was just well-rounded. So I just would advise anybody to just try to call ahead, find out how it works, tell people to go ahead and get a look at the menu so they know how to be prepared, and also let them know like, hey, this is how the process works when it comes to paying. It's just communication. And I think friends should be honest and say, hey, I'm tight. I want to be there, but I can't make it. Like, don't just say I'm going to take you out. Like, if that's really your friend, it shouldn't be an issue to really tell them that. But if you tell them that and they feel away, then you know what kind of friend you got.
I'm ignorant enough to say, as soon as we sit down, like, okay, so I'm only paying for me today, just so everybody's clear. I'll pay $20 on you, bitch, but I only got me today. I'll say that shit out loud in front of everybody before we even get into it. But let me say this, because I want to say y'all stories. Since Necey telling y'all stories, let me tell y'all, okay? And this is why I feel like this. And I feel like y'all remember this story I told y'all. So me and my homegirl, went out for her birthday. It was, me, her dude, her friend, her dude. Well, they wasn't really together, but he was trying to smash, right? And then me, but Lyric couldn't come, so I was there by myself, right? So me, I'm already like, I got me. I'm not expecting us to split the bill because my homegirl there with her dude, right? But you know what they do, right? They look at the menu for the first time, they see the prices, and start ordering the cheapest shit on the menu and loudly complaining about the prices. And then when asked if they want a drink, no. Then asked if they want an appetizer, no. And I'm just kind of like, you can't afford to be here. And that's why I feel that was my, I'm just saying, if you can't get a drink, if you can't get an appetizer, if you get the cheapest thing on the fucking menu, it's because you can't afford to be here.
Who recommended the place? It wasn't them, huh?
I feel like it was them.
It was my homegirl. She could afford to go. Her dude was paying for her, but her dude, and her dude partner, not on this level. They gonna go to the hole in the wall. They gonna go to the spot that got an $8 plate. You know what I'm saying? With an
Know your
overcooked
mate.
steak.
They the ones
know
that's
what I'm
like,
saying?
hey,
Know your
I know a
dude.
place down the street that got some fire ass lamb chops. We ain't gotta sit here. I hate them type of niggas.
Exactly.
If I wanted to go get the cheap ass lamb chops, I would. But I want the ambiance. I want the
Girl.
candle lit. I want my water
Yeah, I
refilled.
want the service. I want the person to come and put the napkin down in my lap, bitch. I don't want to have to, call nobody to come to my table. I want them to. So
Real
this is
boo.
why, y'all, when I'm going to certain places, I've already looked at the menu. I know what it's hitting for. So if I can't afford to spend what I know I'm probably going to spend, I'ma just sit that one out. So that's why I felt like that, y'all, because I've been places with people that know they can't afford to be somewhere, but want to make the experience uncomfortable for everybody because they know they can't afford to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I understand now. I appreciate the story because I think that it explained where you was coming from for sure. Okay. So we good on that. We all know where we stand when it comes to this particular situation here. Well, I have another situation, and this young lady doesn't want to really be a mama no more. It seems like she just tired of hell and she just want to let it go. So let's just get into how she feeling and what's going on with this situation.
Everybody need to know. Come on now, and you're a parent. You know what I'm saying?
Parent too.
Yes,
I don't
know.
want our kid no more. I'm sorry.
What?
You don't be here. You don't be here taking care of her. You don't be going through all the stressful stuff that I be going through.
Sure.
I want to go out. I want to go to the club. I want to travel. I want to be able to get up at 2 a.m. and go hang with my friends if I want to do it. You don't be nowhere to be found.
What? I'm working. What are you talking about?
Doing what?
And you sound real selfish like that. Saying that. You sound real
I'm alone.
selfish.
You're supposed to be her father, and I'm alone.
I am her
24 hours
father,
a day.
and I am here
so
with
where
her.
do you be at? Because you might as well be an absent baby daddy, and I might as well put you on child support.
Oh my God.
To be honest.
Well, where the baby at right now?
With your mother.
With my mother.
Yeah, because you want to sit here and put
But
a
you
camera in
told
my
me
face
she was
and
gonna
argue
be
with
here
me.
with you.
Why would she be here with me when I don't want her?
Oh my God, you sound real selfish, man. I don't even understand how we even going through this right now.
Because you don't be here. I gotta sit there and bathe your child every night. I gotta sit
But that's
here,
what you're supposed to do.
I gotta sit here and listen to your child cry about her father not being here every night while I gotta put her to sleep. I gotta sit here and take her to the
It's the fact that he knew the type of conversation they were having, and he chose to pick up the phone to record it so he could put her on social media.
Public shaming is the nigga way. What do you mean? They can't personally shame women no more, so they gotta get the internet to help them.
They feel like they got evidence.
Yeah,
they feel like they got evidence
that's gonna help them
Let me
get
show you
out
how
of paying
trash
child
she
support or
is.
some shit. Like, nigga, you still gonna have to pay child support. Don't matter how bad you make her look. Okay, let me tell you this. First of all, I have an issue with the way every time we see one of these clips that be very realistic to the way life be, everybody won't talk about how it's a skit and it's not real. And I feel like it's because y'all like to invalidate the truth of most people's, well, not most, but a lot of people's situations where young women get pregnant with babies because they don't know what's on the other side of that. And they think that's what they're supposed to do. And they find out that it's not all fun and games and these niggas ain't helping you. And when you don't have any help, it's easy to be resentful and not feel the love that you feel like you should feel for being a mother. Not that you don't love your kid, because she's talking about how she don't like hearing her baby cry about this nigga. So obviously she is not, someone who doesn't care about their kid, but more so coming from the standpoint of, well, if you can do it, why can't I? I don't think she really means it, but just because of the way she was talking. But, I feel like dudes always trying to make women look bad when you don't even do half of what she does, but you want to make her look bad because she's trying to make you do more.
And then tell her that's her job. And what I also don't like is really how they wrote the title of this, because it's very misleading. Mother going viral for no longer wanting her baby and wanting to live her life, instead of what it's really about.
That's
the whole
what she
conversation.
said, though.
Well, I was just looking at it as she just kind of a bit fed up with him not being there. They could have also kind of it was like she was really calling out his bullshit, though, primarily. You know what I'm saying? Which makes her feel that way. And if she does want to leave, I mean, it does sound bad, but I feel like niggas leave every day, B, because he'll be sick if she left that baby with him and she just moved on. Because some mamas do that. We don't hear a lot about it, but some of them do that. And it's like, what you would have did if she wouldn't have had no conversation with you if she just left that baby and just went on? Y'all can have him.
I think he dropped the baby off at his mama house and called her a deadbeat.
Where she at right now? I think it's both. when I first started watching this, my first reaction wasn't like, damn, she a trash ass mom. My reaction was like, damn, what's making her feel that way? And I honestly think a lot of mothers feel this way, single moms who don't have the help, but they feel guilty about feeling that way. And I also think, like, ain't no telling how old her baby is, like postpartum, which can go on for a long time. But I honestly think that it's better that she's saying this, because it is parents out here who literally kill their children. You hear it in the news all the time.
Absolutely.
And I would rather somebody say this and try to get the baby where the baby needs to be, get the mother some help. But yeah, I think that the dad is trash. I think she don't have the help she need. And if she says she don't want her child, people should take her seriously and take the child.
Yeah, somebody be a fucking village. Because that's the truth of the matter. Them girls be needing help, and they, probably come from fucked up households, so they ain't got no mama or no grandmother or no sisters to help them like that. You can't trust your homegirls. It's all them hoes, snakes. So you just be out here with a baby and a nigga that's, sucking you dry. So, girl, I feel bad. I feel bad.
Me too. I feel bad for her.
That, like, it's got to be something hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel bad for the mama a little bit, but not really, because it's like you need to be calling your son, telling him to come get his mother child. Why is the baby always being dumped and dropped off with you, and you just accepting it? What is he doing for real?
Jami, like you said about mothers leaving and people not really talking about it often. Imagine what stories the fathers end up telling the kids, if they even do tell them when the kids grow up. Like, in this situation, if she was to just leave the baby with her dad, the dad probably would never acknowledge that he wasn't there at all before he was before he was left with no choice. So I think a lot of mothers leave because they don't have the support of having a partner. Like, some wives be living like their whole family. So I think that it's interesting, because I guarantee you the husbands are not admitting their absence earlier on, like leading to why somebody left. And I know it worked both ways, because I know the next thing we're gonna hear is, how come we don't say that for men? But I'm thinking about women who have postpartum and things like that. Like, it's a different situation when you take the toll of physically bearing a child, and then the person you have a baby with can't support you. I think that's two completely different things whenever you're thinking about a woman's perspective and a man's.
Absolutely.
And then probably was barely supporting her throughout the pregnancy.
Right.
So ain't no telling what she carried over after birth, plus the postpartum. Like, that's a lot.
She gonna have to like figure out a way, either if you really don't want your baby, like if you really mean that shit, then you need to give your baby up for adoption and just be okay with it. Like, try to find maybe an open adoption where you can come and say hey every now and again, but you ain't gotta really be there. It's okay if that's what you feel like you gotta do. And I would even like have the open adoption and move somewhere for a little while to let everything calm down, and then I will come back and be involved, especially depending on how young the child is. If the child really young, they may not necessarily remember like that. If you take a year and then come back in the kid's life, they only like 2 years old or something like that. But if they 6, 7, they gonna remember that shit. But I just feel like it's okay sometimes for you to say, I can't do this, and I just can't, because it's better than, like you said, unaliving the kids. It's better than leaving them destitute. It's better than laying up with some dude who gonna mistreat your kid and you gonna allow it because you're resentful because you didn't want them anyway. It's a whole bunch of things that happen when mothers don't want to be mothers. And I honestly feel like, I know we always want to say that women, she should have got on birth control, or she should have known better. But like, let's keep it a fucking buck. All of society is telling women to have babies. It's not even just her biology or the men who keep trying to implant their seed in her womb, but it's also society that tells her it's her job to have a baby. So when a girl gets pregnant and she wasn't fully prepared for it, y'all be like, oh, she should have known better. But it's like, how was she supposed to know better?
Because these people will fool you. He'll get married to these folks and everything, and then they turn around and be like, peace out. So and I think that was a good point too, Bondy, because not only are they often being told this, but then you also have government forcing it in so many words by cutting out the abortion clinics and stuff.
Y'all know who this is making me think of?
Who?
Kenya Moore.
Oh, her mama. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That is making me think of her.
Yeah.
What? I really would love to know that backstory.
And she had her when she was a teen, right?
I think so.
I think she was a teen. So ain't no telling
Yeah.
what she went through.
And they be forcing them girls to have babies too. Oh, you laid down and had sex. Now you got to deal with it. You made your baby.
Because
now
the
you gotta
Bible
deal-
said this and that. If you kill a baby, you going to hell and da 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 da. Because they use that heavy Bible talk like they did back in slave times. But as we talk about the mom has a right to, you know, be open and say that she needs help or whatever the case is. I want to get y'all thoughts about this last one. And this is a mom that took the social media to really vent because her child actually has special needs. Okay. So let me get that one up here.
Having a kid with special fucking needs is not for the weak. Why is 40 bottles of fucking water gone? Because he didn't want to open the same fucking bottle and drink his backwash. Why are your flops broken from you flipping them up in the fucking air, catching them and smashing them on the ground, or scooting your fucking feet up all the way to the edge of the fucking surface and popping them bitch? I love my son, my ponytail coming off. That's how stressed I am, y'all. I can't fucking take it. I can't fucking take it. I'm having one of those moments. I'm having one of those moments. I'm having one of those moments. I'm having one of those fucking moments because I have... It's okay.
Wow.
Ooh, child.
Wow.
I'ma just tell y'all right now. I honestly feel like y'all get mad at people for getting online and talking like this. But at the end of the day, I low-key feel like this is the response to y'all not being honest about motherhood. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is the response to y'all not keeping it real with people about the real, like, y'all, when I tell y'all, it's like one of my greatest fears to have a special needs kid, because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have the patience. And I had a cousin that was special needs. Like she, you know, I think it was considered Down syndrome, but she was much older, right? My dad had to take responsibility for her. And I can remember her at like 50 something years old, shitting in the bed, like shitting. Like she knows the bathroom is across the hall, but she shit in the bed. And my mom had to like wake up in the middle of the night and clean that shit up. And then they put her in Volunteers of America. And, you know, my dad is the one that's responsible for her estate. So every month, you know what I'm saying, sometimes more than once a month, depending on what was going on, we would have to go down there, talk to the people, spend some time with her. And there were a whole bunch of other people in his home, right? So this is the people that's like sitting there drooling. This is the people that's just making loud noises out of nowhere. Like they just, you know, that type of thing is going on in this home. And as a kid, I'm having to go there and keep my, you know what I'm saying? Like understand that these are people that can't control what's going on, and to not show disgust or show being uncomfortable on my face. So I having like firsthand experience and seeing how difficult that shit can be.
Yeah.
I can't even really get mad at her because she's not even complaining about him doing just stuff that's just aggravating. She's complaining about the stuff she's gonna have to financially replace. That's, you know what I'm saying? Everything we just talked about before we got on live, how expensive everything is. I mean, well, we talked about it on live, but you know, like I low-key feel like that was a moment of her letting it off her chest. And there are people out there that need to see that shit, because y'all really be out here making motherfuckers think that motherhood and parenting is so easy and you're going to have a biological connection with your kid that's going to protect you from ever feeling this amount of anger toward. Like, I feel like y'all don't keep it above. So I'm low-key not even mad. I just hope that her getting her frustration off helps her to be able to handle it in the best way when she's actually with her child. You know what I'm saying? Because her child ain't nowhere around in this video from what it looked like. So, you know what I'm saying? Girl, get it off your chest.
So let me tell y'all, I was laughing. I was laughing because that was the wildest thing for me to hear about I know he's special needs. It's just the concept of him drinking 40 bottles of water because he didn't want to drink his own backwash.
Oh,
I was like, damn, that is wild. Like, that is wild. But I would say this. I feel for her. And it's something that I've thought about very often because my sister-in-law has a child who is special needs, but not because he has like Down syndrome. He has something called Dravet syndrome where he has seizures all the time.
oh wow.
Like all the time, all types of seizures. And she's a single mom. And I think about how stressful that is for her because as he gets older, it's not like he becomes more independent. Like you literally have a child for the rest of your life. And just that amount of stress. And then also thinking about having to like pay for stuff. I think about it all the time, pray for her all the time. So this mother right here, I feel horrible for her. And anytime I see people in public, like I know raising kids is hard enough. Like I understand that. But seeing people with special needs kids and having to have the patience for that, also having to deal with the ignorance from people when it comes to your child, it's a lot. So I feel horrible for her. And I'm glad she's being real, but I hope that she also village, like Bondy said.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, that's what it was sounding like. Like she need help.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like a lot of the things, somebody needs to talk more about the disconnect between the disconnect or what's not being communicated about women feeling this way and them not having a village. Like, are you more likely to have postpartum when you feel like you don't have the help or you don't have the finances? Like, I'm sure you are, but why aren't people talking about it?
And it's also like the shame and guilt of not wanting to express how hard it is, even though you need to say it. Like you need to get it off your chest. Because honestly, like everybody makes it seem like, you know, if a woman expresses the type of angst, that means she doesn't care. But the fact that she's trying to get it out of her body so it doesn't take place in her relationship with her child, I think is a sign that it's somebody that just needs to vent their frustration, and she should have the space to do that without being judged as a bad mom off of a moment of frustration, as if everybody doesn't get, you know, have these moments with anybody. Like I don't even have to have a child. And the way, you know, I sometimes want to throw my dog against a wall for doing something stupid. Like, of course, I'm not going to actually do it. That's still a little bitty, like, you know, Olivia peed on the floor yesterday. And I'm like, bitch, that's why I don't let you out. You know what I'm saying? But I can't throw little bitty Olivia against the wall because she peed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it frustrated me. I used to be way madder when I was younger. But, you know, of course, it's not the same thing as having a kid. But still, like that moment where you see the shit and you just want to pull your fucking hair out a little bit. Girl. But yeah, man, I feel like there should be space for the truth of what women go and what people period go through when they are parents, because parenting is hard, period. And I think one of the most detrimental things is pretending as if everything is always okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was wondering whether or not she's actually getting the resources that she needs from the state and stuff to help her take care of her kid. I don't know. I was just wondering about that. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And also the fact that it's on TikTok makes me wonder if maybe this isn't something she normally does, but for the community of people that may not know what it's like, you know, being a parent to a special needs kid, she's probably showing all angles of everything. And see, I do get frustrated sometimes, and this is what I'm dealing with on today or whatnot. But I can imagine, because, you know, being a parent already is just hard, but then to deal with a special needs kids, like a special needs child, it's like you really have like no hours off, like none. You always got to be like on alert, ready. It's a lot. And I know, especially if that might be a kid that has to go through a lot of surgeries and stuff. People don't think about that. It's a lot. And I think they need a lot of support, especially from, you know, governmental services or whatnot. But that's that. And I do have one last thing. Okay. Not a video, but I wanted to get y'all thoughts real quick on this issue here. This woman got engaged and she put DMs are officially closed, right? Well, these men decided that they was going to drag her, and they said, so you've been in a relationship this whole time and the DMs were open? It might not be Ugandan women with a problem after all. It might be a general problem. Then somebody says DMs were open and she was still entertaining other men while she was in a whole ass relationship. The ring don't mean shit. The last guy says if she thinks she don't have to act, well, he said, I tried to tell y'all, if she thinks she don't have to act like a wife until she gets a ring, just F her and leave. Yikes.
Y'all know where we stand. I can say that easily.
I feel like I don't think any of us are going to disagree on this subject.
Y'all know where we stand. Well, okay, let me say for me, I feel like we talked about it a lot of times where we feel like more women should be like this until they do get a ring. It's like it is so beneficial to a man and just society to teach women to act like a wife and serve your future husband before you have the ring. And it's only beneficial to the men, to be honest. Like, we don't need practice acting like a wife when, since you was a little girl, you'd have been told how to cook and clean and dress and look in public. I don't need to practice. So I really wish that more women would do this. But it wouldn't be beneficial to a man if they did. So I feel like that's what that's about. I ain't mad at old girl.
Me neither. And what you mean? So that means she was in a relationship with her DMs open the whole time. Yes, nigga, because that's what the ring does. It is literally a signifier that you have locked me down. Because until you have locked me down, I am free like a bird, nigga. And you could, to me, like, I wouldn't even want to marry a man that feel like that. Like, you don't need to get married. Like, you just want a maid, a mattress, and a mule. Shout out to Erica De Niro. Like, I'm not interested in that. And honestly, I feel like a lot of these niggas don't deserve marriage. I think marriage really only is good for men because once women have been married, they usually, like, at a high percentage tell you they do not want to do that shit again. So yeah. I'm sorry, but y'all can keep trying.
You said men tell you at a high percentage they don't want to do it again?
No, women.
Oh, okay. Women. I was about to say men always want to get remarried.
Oh, of course they want. They get the bitch dead for 3 minutes and they already got another woman on the line that they about to get engaged to in a 6-month period. Back when the family, is a little bit more comfortable with the situation. But he had a bitch on the side since he found out that lady was gonna die. Please know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like. Girl, I'm just saying in general, because whenever women get
from
sick,
the picture, I was like, "What did I miss?"
No, but you know how, like, whenever women die first, the men be like having a new woman in like in a year or 6 months. Like, it don't even take that long. Like, he already had a bitch as soon as you went to the hospital, girl, because he wasn't about to stay with you when you were sick, because that's just not how they be. But yeah, I just kind of felt like, no, girl, you are single until you are married. Don't do what the rest of us did. Like, make these niggas work real hard.
I was gonna say, just because I'm saying, fuck that, do it, don't mean I did it. But anybody who, I feel like now looking back, anybody I know, I tell them that they should do that.
Yes, because you realize you was doing a lot. You was doing a lot of intro work that you should not have been doing. You should have made them work harder to get you to do that. And because we were being socialized that we were supposed to make life easier for niggas and be their peace and all of that, we were trying to make all these allowances to make their lives easier, and they made our lives harder. So now what we have to understand is, no, y'all niggas gotta sink or swim. So if you can't compete with me where I'm at, then I guess you need to find somebody on your level, huh? And see, a lot of us didn't know that. We was trying to, help build you niggas up. And for some of us, that might have been a good situation. For some of us, that worked out, But for a lot of us, we made sacrifices. We paid for schooling. We helped y'all get jobs. And as soon as y'all got comfortable, y'all started treating them women like shit. The women said, I had enough, I'ma leave. And now y'all trying to make the lady life miserable after she didn't help you get everything you got. So I've seen too many examples of that. One hit a quitter on me. If me and this nigga divorce, it's not happening again. Okay. Call me single lady. Okay. If me and this nigga don't work out, and I'm just gonna keep it a bug with y'all. I am not remarrying anybody, not even a woman. Bitch, you my friend girl.
Not friend girl. Come on, Martell. Thank you so much for the super chat, Miss Sparkles. Like, whoa, kids are not easy at all. Mama still got to bear the brunt of the mistakes of adult children that they already raised to do right, child. And we will be getting into Miss Nene leaks later. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Mercedes, thank you as well for the super sticker. I just wanted to say, while those guys were like kind of coming up against this young lady for her post, you don't know that man. And maybe her DMs was open for a reason, because a lot of women do stay with men after they've cheated once or twice. And she had a reason to keep the DMs open. So while you're saying that the ring don't mean a thing to her, how you know it mean a thing to him when he got down there and did that? Some of them do that just to string you along and keep you a lot longer. Okay,
mad.
but you know they
was in
just
the
talking.
DMs. They was in
And
the
to be
DMs.
very,
You know,
and
you
to
know
be very
it.
clear,
You know,
men love to get women that they can lock down so they can have unprotected sex with them. Just so you're clear, like a nigga will not want to be in a relationship with you, but try to get you pregnant so that they can always have access to you.
Whoa. That sounds scary.
Listen,
Woo,
it's
scary
real
out here.
Girl, in the 90s, we didn't know that was real. We didn't know niggas did that in the 90s, girl. We was just like, oh, it's women that's always trying to trap a man with money, right? But oh no,
men definitely do that.
Oh yes. Not only was they doing it back then, you didn't even know that they was trapping you in a pregnancy, okay? But a lot of them want to get girls pregnant because once they get the girl pregnant, they can always go back to her and have unprotected sex with her. That's their idea.
A lot of them,
and they want places they can go without a condom. You know what I'm saying? So they create babies with bitches, so she will just be for him, even though he doesn't have to fully commit to her like he would if he married her.
I think it's also too, men have this false I guess idea of what they want for themselves, right? They want to have that family and stuff, but then when it comes around, they really can't handle that. They can't take it. They over there speaking too prematurely. They talking too soon about the things that they want, knowing that they're not prepared to receive said things.
Girl, I got a friend that got married and they ended up having a kid a year later, and when the baby was listening here, oh, that man talking about I don't want to be a father, and they got a divorce.
What?
Yeah.
Like Safari.
Wow.
One even no black man.
That's not surprising.
Yes.
Child, that is embarrassing. Thank you so much, Keisha Boo, for the super chat. Did you ladies see the Carlos King and Destiny interview?
No.
And also, would you ladies think of
Sorry.
What did y'all think about the trailer?
The trailer. What happened in the trailer? Oh, Kiki. The trailer looks good, but I ain't gonna hold my breath because Kiki was acting like she was gonna spill some tea last season and then didn't give nothing. But it seems like the storylines are interesting.
I'll say this. Thank you for the super chat, Keisha Boo. Although it was a bit entertaining to see Kiki throw the drink on what's that girl name? Miss Tisha. I will say this. Don't try to be so hyped to be a part of the show that you find yourself asked out like Miss Wanda. That's one. Number two, Tisha, if she's continuing to be on the show next season, then you know where you stand with Carlos. Because Mel was able to get your mama up off the show. And I believe he see everybody as stars of the show and not just one person. So if that is the case, it's not giving you a star, because if that happened and you want her gone and she's still there, then you know what it is. So good luck.
To be honest, I was disgusted seeing her throw that glass at Tisha. Like, I sat back like, ugh. I was disgusted that she did that. But not because I like Tisha, but because I knew she did that shit for, I guess, the motive of, I feel like it was wanting to get in where you said, who the fuck do that to their own cousin on TV?
Kiki.
I was just disgusted by that.
I mean, let me do the devil's advocate bullshit right quick. The only reason that, and I felt the same way you felt, because you could tell Tisha wasn't trying to have no issue with her. So when she did that, it was like, bitch, you really doing a lot. Like, you really taking allowance with the fact that Tisha is not going to stoop to your level with these cameras on right now.
Yeah.
But I also had to think about the previews and how much Marceau kept calling her a crackhead. And so we got to remember how no matter how disrespectful Marceau is, Tisha will back him up and defend him. And we saw that with Stormy this episode. She agreed with Stormy, told him it was tacky and told him not to go over there. He did it. He got what he got. And she's still going to come up and make excuses for him at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like Kiki probably feel like your husband is wrong and you just going to sit there and not say anything. You my fucking cousin and you're going to let him sit up there and call me a crackhead. I think that's probably been an issue in their relationship for a long time. Because just of the dynamics of Marceau and Tisha's relationship, he can bully her into saying anything. So, you know.
And to act like that wasn't his back in that hotel room.
Okay, and we know that was your back because ain't many niggas shaped like that. Okay, all in breast and thighs and back.
Voluptuous.
Okay, he is very voluptuous. Okay, like it's given by the Chelly chick. Okay, I'm gonna leave him alone though.
Anything else?
Oh, what
All
else
right.
happened? Hold on, let me think. Hold up right quick before we move on. What else happened in that trailer that might have been interesting? Kiki crackhead. Was there anything
Mel
with
said
Storm?
Tisha was gonna leave him.
Oh,
Oh, when
thank you.
Tisha leaves. Tisha ain't going
Thank
nowhere.
you. Listen, it was the way she said it that made me feel like she wouldn't have said that if she didn't know something that we don't know. Mel is too smart and strategic a lot of the time, as we've seen. When she says shit on camera, it's normally because she has something to back it up. Now, it's not that I think Tisha's going to actually leave Marceau, Necey. Hear me out.
Yeah,
But
she ain't
I
going
think
nowhere.
there is a difference, though, y'all. Are we gonna act like we haven't noticed the difference in Tisha ever since the picture came out and she cried in the car with him? It felt different between them. I feel like we're not seeing a lot of conversation. We're not seeing her making any real effort anymore. She's just showing up cute and doing this thing, this in front of everybody thing. Where I'm a buck for you because we in front of everybody. But yeah, I don't know. It's a different energy that I'm seeing from Tisha, and it's feeling like I'm trying to get my shit together so I can leave. So I am. Oh, and what about when she was at the expo talking about how, I want to be able to say, girl, you doing great for yourself, and I want to know how you did it, and we don't have to hate on each other, and if you need help, you should be okay asking another woman for help. She was talking all of that shit, and all I could think about is how Mel tried to help you,
That's
and
what
then
I
you
was thinking
shitted
about.
on her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yep.
wondering if there's been a conversation with the two of them since where they've kind of had a come to Jesus moment. Because to be honest, it's stupid if y'all haven't noticed how the men have manipulated y'all to have beef over the years. Because to me, I think Marceau and Martell have kind of like made that situation worse between the two of them than it would have been had the men not been, working from their own agenda of protecting the foolishness they had going on down to the apartment.
Okay. Yeah. Well, with that, I think that was a good segue for us to go ahead and get into some TV talk. So let's do just that. All right. So I want to talk real quick about Love and Hip Hop ATL, but I only really care about Bambi, Scrap, and Erica Mena. Now, the issue that's going on with them is the fact that, of course, Bambi and Scrap got this divorce. She's taking him to court. They're trying to figure out who's going to pay what. And we're learning that he only wants to pay child care. I think he wants to get the kids like 1 week out the month, but he doesn't want to pay child support. Girl, what? And then with the information that we learn, of course, Bambi shares this information with Erica Mena. And then at a later time, we see where Erica Mena decides that it's her business to confront Scrappy, let him know everything that she knows as far as him. Well, not everything. She just called him out about not wanting to pay child support. Scrap gets upset because he feels like she's talking about his kids, and I didn't see how, but he got upset about that, and he was ready to talk about her child, primarily because she called his mama out for opening her mouth up all the time because she do. What did y'all think about? What are y'all thoughts about that? The whole breakdown.
Hold on, I just want to specify because I thought it was just me, but I think that she was saying that he wanted to do week on, week off, so he wouldn't have to pay child support.
Oh, that's what I thought she was saying. Yeah. 1 week out the month, week on, week off.
She was saying, yeah, week on, week off. That means because I know a lot of people with that arrangement. So basically, he'll have all three for a whole week, and she'll have all three. That way, they split custody, and he don't have to pay child support. That's what a lot of dudes like to do, even though when they're married or in the household with the woman, they're never there that much. They're never like the consistent primary parent for that amount of time. So she probably feels like, nigga, when have you ever had these kids for 5 days or 7 days at a time without any help from me? 3 of them under the age of 8. Do you really think you're going to be able, you know what I'm saying? She probably has some fear about leaving the kids with him because he'll probably just drop them off at Mama D's house or something like that. But either way, I think everything that Scrappy is doing is vindictive. She don't want to stay with me and deal with my shit anymore. So I'm going to make every single thing she's trying to get done hard. I know people going through divorces. I know people that have been with men that just really make shit difficult and ask for this type of arrangement so they can. When he said he wanted to pay half of everything for all 3 kids, even though he know he's not the primary parent, that tells me you don't want to pay child support and you really just trying to make it hard on her more than you're trying to be there for your kids. Because it's not really about the kids. Because if it was, you would have brought your ass home, paid half of the rent, and did whatever you wanted to do, but made sure you took care of home. Because there are niggas that cheat and be outside their house, but they take care of home, i.e. Jock. But you don't have the control to do those things because you're out of control of yourself. And to me, this episode, I think we really got to see how out of control Scrappy is. Because, like you said, Erica and Sierra, like, to me, y'all don't need to have conversations with this man about anything. Like, I get it. You want to hold him accountable as the community. You feel like you have a friendship with him, so you feel like you might be able to, you know, say something that might make him hear you more than he's hearing his old lady. But ever since the first episode, remember when Kirk was up there trying to talk to Scrappy, and he was like, whenever you say something to Scrappy, he's going to act like you're for Bambi and against him. So you can't even say anything to him. So everybody is basically punking out and not being honest with him because they're scared of his reaction, which I ain't gonna lie. Like, I feel like that's a lot of dudes. You have to live in delusional land with them to keep them from getting volatile. So when Sierra and Erica don't want to let this die and they want to keep confronting him about how he's wrong, he is going to keep being defensive and he's going to keep acting like this because he refuses to take any accountability. And it's always been like that. But I think we didn't really notice it until the Bambi situation because he was so young when he was with Erica. Like,
that's what I was going to ask.
It's been, but that was like when he was in his like late 20s and shit. Fast forward now, 3 kids, a marriage, and you're like 40 now. This was cool season 3 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta where we could give you the benefit of the doubt. But I think now it's like, yeah, nah, son, you're a bum.
And bum as fuck.
You're a bum. And you're just mad that you can't hide it with being attractive anymore. Because I think Scrappy like looks for validation. So he was used to people liking him just because he's attractive. But now that we see you're a bum and you continue to be a bum, your attractiveness is not the same anymore, especially because you don't really take good care of yourself. He might work out, but the eyes are always
that's it.
He
he can't even afford a storage. He over there putting his shit in Mama D in her garage. Like, girl, what? But I'm definitely with that. I don't think Erica, Mina, and Sierra need to address him about a damn thing. Like, it's one thing when your friends confide in you, but it doesn't mean that you have to take that information to that person. And Erica has said it, like, that she wasn't even gonna bring the drama to Bambi about the whole pregnancy thing. But I loved how Bambi handled that. She was just like, girl, it is what it is, fuck them people or whatever. But Erica is using Scrappy as a dumping ground for the shit she really want to get off her chest when it comes to Safari. And I just really need her to kind of, you know, fall the hell back. But girl, I was thinking that Scrappy only wanted a week with the kids. And I was like, well, you know, a week is fine. Like, let him have the kids for a week. Like, you know, it is what it is. But I didn't even catch that it was 1 week on, 1 week off. Yeah, nah, hell nah. So you don't have to pay. And then now dudes are so stupid. Because especially with Scrappy, in my opinion, we're gonna have to wait and see. But I feel like anything Bambi would have asked him for, he would have went against it, right? Yep. Only for now, you have to go to court. So now the judge is going to make the determination of what the hell is going to be what, and you might end up losing, and that's going to be your fault. But we're going to see him trying to make it seem like it's Bam's fault. When he don't make no money the whole damn time.
Yeah. Baby said, let him tell it he don't make no money.
He don't make no money. That's why, and it's like, why would you do that to your family? Like, haven't you done enough? You've already forced them to be evicted. So she had to go find a place for your 3 children. And then now you want to sit up here and say you ain't got no money?
Girl, and then on top of that, to be living in a fucking hotel but fighting to have custody of your 3 children, you don't even have a place for those children to live. Nigga.
Come on.
Where they gonna live, Scrappy? Where they gonna live? Somebody call Super.
right.
Lou, where they gonna live?
Lou, whatever.
Okay, what's Scrappy? Daryl.
What's his name?
Daryl.
Oh, his real name.
Daryl Jr. Okay. And y'all, it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing when you remember his dad is a pastor. But anyway,
Let me ask y'all, was there ever a time, and maybe that's what you answered, I'm just disgusted because in my mind, when I was young watching Love and Hip Hop, Scrappy didn't seem like that bad of a dude. Now this newfound bum, it's disgusting. Did I just miss something and I just was not picking up all the context clues in early seasons?
I think you might have. I just think that who Scrappy is who Scrappy has always been. I think he just had a little personality that we liked at the time. You know what I'm saying? But now it's different. You were a married man and you done had 3 additional kids, and the same running theme with this relationship with Bambi was the same shit with Erica. Erica was saying how he wasn't paying bills and doing this and that, and then you got in this relationship with Bam thinking stuff gonna be different because she's a wife, and realized that you was slick treated like a baby mama the whole time that you was a damn wife to this man. But he's been the same. Thank Mama D.
Yes. He has, and Mama D continues to get online and make excuses for him that make it even more apparent that he's never going to be held accountable, so he's never going to change, which is why I don't even know how y'all can blame Bambi. Bambi was just like, I don't even care. Like, I don't even want to be bothered with him. I hope he did get her pregnant so he could leave me alone. When somebody says some shit like that, they really just don't want to be bothered. And to me, if y'all have actually listened to any argument that Scrappy and Bam have had, I've always heard Bambi, but Scrap, how you gonna say this when da 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 da? It's the tone of her voice. It is the pleading. It is the begging for him to see reason that he refuses to see. That the last time they had a conversation in the house and he had an attitude with her, even though he the reason they got kicked out, and then to ask for full custody, even though you don't. I mean, part custody, even though you don't have a place to stay. And then to turn around and go rent another house thereafter, when if you was a halfway decent nigga, you and Bambi could have just broke up and took care of y'all household and stayed and did what y'all need to do for y'all kids. But because this is about hurting Bambi, because she's tired of you mistreating her and not being there for her, you're not going to do what's required of you as a man and as a parent. You're just not. So I can't wait to see what happens in the court case, but something tells me that Bambi is going to be victorious because Spice already told us that Erica, bitch, it's not your season. It's Bambi's season. So that should let us know. Oh girl, I'm sorry. I hate, y'all know I cannot stand when we talking about how terrible a dude is and y'all be in the comments pulling everything out y'all ass to try to blame the woman. Like, I'm sorry. I cannot.
And Barry, I do see a few comments that are speaking on that. But is there anything else I wanted to talk about with Love and Hip Hop ATL? Because I really wanted to focus on
Erica and Amy. That was Baby Bang Banks and Amy, because they playing themselves. First of all, I was looking at Baby Bang Banks like, girl, why are you lying to Amy saying that you're not interested in Chaotic when you really are? Like, he online talking about sucking his kids out of you. So you was fronting on her. At the same time, I feel like Erica really probably was trying not to do that song with Amy because of Chaotic and just didn't want to admit it. Because you in the studio with every nigga that'll be in the studio with you. But the girl say, I want to do a song and now you don't have time. I don't like that. And it reminds me of how she is not for women, like the way she did Meg Thee Stallion, and then 1501 turned around and didn't pay her neither. So, you know, when you gonna stop being male identified. And Chaotic is a hoe. So I don't know what she thinks she getting out of him, but Chaotic is not a boyfriend. He is a dildo. That's all he can be.
I think that whole situation is messy, and I think it was lame and whack as hell of Erica to not tell this girl that she was into Chaotic when Amy decided to confide in her and even tell her about the damn kiss. It was like Amy was considering you, but the whole time you was never considering Amy. And I'm like, Erica, that's not a good look at all. Amy ain't got nothing to do with Chaotic, from my understanding. I think she's back with her ex-boyfriend now, but Erica, you still rocking with him.
Oh, Amy back with her ex-boyfriend?
Yeah, that's what it looked
the
like.
The one that she was on selling Atlanta with?
Mozzie, yep.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the like. So Chaotic and Amy were kind of going back and forth in the chat, and then Mozzie hopped into the conversation as well. And then Amy says something about you need to get your girl I like some about his girl Erica, but I like the one that you be out in Miami with though. I was like, what?
Ooh.
And
Well, we
then
know
he
your
said
hoe,
something
so.
about Mozzie, and then Mozzie hopped on there and said something about he glad he back in her life or some sleep. That was going back and forth in Amy comments. But yeah.
So Amy took the man back that stole her YouTube channel from her?
Listen, and I hate to hear it, but yeah, that's what it was giving. That's what it was giving.
Tragic.
That's what it was giving.
Girl, you so stupid.
Mhm.
That's to that nigga. I'm sorry. Because to me,
Embarrassing.
there's and I say that, y'all, it's a saying. I'm saying that to him, meaning like he shouldn't be able to profit off of her. Because to me, it seemed like you realized that even after you took her YouTube channels from her and changed the passwords and shit, that you weren't going to be able to be as successful without her. So now you've humbled and came back with your tail in between your legs, and she's stupid enough to take you back. Because to me, I could never trust you again. I would always think you was just trying to be with me to use me.
Yeah, you on the guard. Who could
Mm.
never be with nobody to steal something from me? That's insane.
Yeah, they
I
had
don't
a
care
lot
if you
going
stole
on.
$1.
They had a lot going on. Some people were trying to say that he created the channel first, so he was taking back what was his. And I was like, I just still feel like that's messed up when the come up seemed like it came when they were together. So at the end of the day, just leave it up and y'all figure out how y'all gonna split the coin. But she also left him because of he wasn't really
Cheating.
there active for his kids like he needed to be. And
True,
she
she
didn't
said
like
that.
that.
And when he cheating too, though, didn't he have some chicks and stuff in the DMs?
I can't remember. I want to say yeah.
I could be
But don't
wrong.
quote
'cause
me.
They all do
Probably.
that.
Me. I can't remember
So I could be
that.
wrong. But yeah, no, girl,
Yeah,
we
I
would
can't
not have
remember that,
advised
but-
taking him back, girl. We would have said just go ahead and let chaotic, come and tune you up every now and again, wear a condom and send him on about his way. But please stop trying to fall in love with these niggas. Just for a minute.
She said he never cheated, is what the comments
Okay,
say.
so he never cheated.
Okay.
Okay, thank y'all.
So he
I
just
wasn't
stole
sure.
from her, but he never cheated. Okay. Well, yeah, I understand.
I don't. I still don't. I feel like stealing is low-key worse than cheating.
And then I think he had her credit tied up because I think she leased him a car or something like that, and I think she had a phone in his name. It was a lot. It was a lot. I can't remember the cheating, but I know it was more things linked to financial stuff and also his kids. So yeah.
Oh, hold up. I want to say, Mama D said Medicare is Bambi 65 plus Social Security. Okay, so I think Mama D was online talking about Bambi was stealing from Medicaid or something like that. I don't know if that's what she was saying, but I just want to say that Mama D, you sold crack out of your house. There's nothing you can say that makes Bambi worse than you. That's all.
Shit, she's probably stealing from Medicaid because Scrappy ain't got no damn money.
Oh, help me.
He definitely ain't paying no fucking insurance if he only paying his half of the rent late. Oh, and then gonna sit up there and get on the radio talking about, see, I was paying late, but I was paying. Nigga, that means you still irresponsible.
But then I feel it's also, and I could be wrong, business people hop in the chat and let me know, but maybe she qualified for a Medicaid because, maybe she got a business account, but she only allot herself a certain amount with a paycheck. And based on what her business pays her, she might fall within the brackets to actually qualify for Medicaid. So why not go get it for her or care or whatever for her 3 kids?
Y'all think, I know y'all be like really worrying about the wrong shit. Like, you think I'm supposed to be mad about somebody gaming the government? Y'all don't know us. Like, I'm not caping for Black people anymore, but I'm also not so defensive of the government that specifically puts people in mice-like contraptions so that they can see what will happen in their lives, poking with them like little badass kids with a what's the microscope on ants? That's what they do to Black people in the hood. So for me, I feel like, yeah, like Mama D was probably in the 70s and the 80s, right? In Atlanta. Oh yeah. Like, governmentally, y'all fucked over a generation of people so bad that essentially you think I'm about to be like mad about people gaming the system out of food stamps and shit, out of healthcare stuff that they should give us anyway.
I just had a random thing. Like I was telling y'all, I just want to put this PSA out there because she said Atlanta in the 70s. Y'all know I like my true crime. 2 things: Atlanta Monster, Freeway Phantom. Look them up. Oh, Freeway Phantom was not Atlanta. That was DC. Another Black metropolitan area. Look them up.
Okay.
Send us that in the DMs because I ain't gonna remember, but I do want to see.
I'ma send them.
Anything else? I think we wrapped up ATL, right? Okay, bet. All right, cool. Let's move on. Bell Collective.
Oh,
It's only two
Cliff.
things I care about. So let's get into the first part, the peace party.
It was hidden. The
Tim
episode was
versus
hidden.
Marie and So Gucci versus Latrice. Marie, you was dog ass wrong. That's why don't nobody give a damn about what's going on with your mama and what's going to continue to happen with your mama.
Because she's addicted to drugs.
And I'm glad Amber getting her lawyer involved, which is why Letitia was up there about damn crying, trying to hug on her because she ain't trying to get no damn trouble.
So she I went with Marie.
And Gucci, I need you to stop with this threatening behavior that you put out there, because the same energy that you gave Selena, you gave to Latrice. With Selena, you was sitting over there doing all that talking, but when you couldn't take what else it was that she said, you decided to run up. With Latrice, y'all started talking. Then it went from the clapping, but you wanted to show how big and bad you was, so you decided to go the extra mile, which is to stand up over her like you was about to do something. But everybody else around the table keep trying to paint you as though you the victim, but she obviously keeps showing y'all that she's not. And then it's the way you went back and told the story to JJ for me, leaving out all the damn details, and that just pissed me off. So Gucci, I'm not really on your team right now, girl. I'm not.
I never felt bad for her when she was crying about the whole real estate deal. Just because if you can't close the fucking deal, you can't close the deal. And if you was a real ass realtor, you would have had her sign a non-compete from the jump. So I don't feel bad for her at all. I mean, it just is what it is. Plus, two questions is like, for one, well, not two questions. Like I said, number one, she didn't sign a non-compete. Number two, even if Latrice had told you, hey, I'm going to go with somebody else, what was you going to benefit from that? Nothing. You were still going to be mad because you weren't going to get a check. So it's just like, girl, shut up.
Yeah, I agree. And I really don't like the way she recounts the situation. And I didn't like it that episode. And I'm so glad I stuck to my guns, because y'all was really trying to argue with me about that shit. Like I wasn't seeing what the fuck I was seeing. Mm-hmm. So Gucci likes to run up on people. And I feel like, Jamie, if you hadn't said it for this episode, I wouldn't have noticed it because it happened so fast. But she jumped up at that table first, and then Latrice jumped up.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do believe that Latrice is in an abusive relationship in a way that we're not exactly clear on. Because now I'm starting to think there's even more shit going on that we don't know about. It's not even him putting his hands on her or being aggressive. It's other shit that he's making her do. When she said that shit about if he getting his thing sucked, we sucking it together. I was just kind of like, so has anything happened with you, Josh, and Cliff in y'all house? Because that's the first thing that came to my mind. So I do feel like Latrice got her own issues, but Gucci is insecure. And it shows in the way she handled herself. You take everything personal. You do all your little slick shade and shit. You be charading it, really, because whenever somebody, pop back at your ass, you play victim and act like somebody did something to you. So yeah, I'm really kind of over So Gucci and her thin ponytail having husband. What was the point of getting her a stripper, JJ? What's that about? Do you like to watch her get it from other dudes? Because that's probably a possibility.
That was for him.
Him and Cliff. And I bet you Glenn was mad because he wasn't there to see the stripper too.
Yikes. Listen, because I didn't understand that. I was like, wow, out of all things, she thought she was going to get a bigger ring, but she ended up getting a bigger dick. Okay. But it was really, first of all, Marie, that hard ass booty, I need you to sit it down, because she was trying so hard to shake that thing everywhere. It was very annoying. But it was really Cliff for me, because Cliff could not keep his eyes off this man, Jangling.
Cliff?
And he literally went around Letitia's head to look more at what was going on. But if Latrice would have did anything like that, he would have snatched her up. But you could look at the dick, though.
They was looking together.
Listen, and I'm over here. Him and Latrice or him and Letitia?
Him, Latrice. But he was looking harder than her.
I'm thinking about Letitia.
Everybody. Letitia and Latrice. Latrice was jumping up and down like fucking Chung Lee on a video game. And Letitia was in the back whispering real low. And Cliff was whispering. Cliff was like direct. This. You see this, huh? You see it. I think about 15 inches long. And let's not forget that Cliff also told Glenn that he needs to dress up like a woman and stand in the mirror. I didn't even know what the fuck that meant, but I'm starting to think. I didn't know either. based on the way you look, which you probably looked like when you were a young man, you getting with Latrice because she was so young and ignorant of certain things, and the way shit happened with Josh, I'm kind of low-key wondering if you are addicted to boys, because you come off like one of them aggressive ass old niggas that go down on the corner and pay to have the little gay boys jump in their car for $50. But you know, who knows?
That's exactly what
You
my
ain't
mind
lying.
went. Why you put Josh out for real?
Girl,
This is
that's
very
what I
telling. And then you got a little jealous of Letitia that you decided to go snitch on her to her man. What is this
said.
about?
Hey, we all in here looking at dick together. Don't get your woman.
And now it makes sense. If we doing it, we doing it together. Well, clearly y'all was looking at it together. So I mean, I don't know no more. Latrice, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know, girl. America is confused. But why you call that lady husband, Cliff? And then got him on the phone talking about his last name as though it holds weight when he didn't give a fuck about his last name when he was out there cheating the first time. I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm so
Because Cliff a bitch. I'ma just say it. We long enough in the video. He a bitch.
We say
What you gonna do, nigga? You a bitch. Like who does that?
I don't know, but I agree with you, Jamie. I was thinking that's why he kicked Josh out the house. Josh made you feel seen. Exposed, I should say.
Damn.
You know, Scotty, I see Scotty in the comments making little comments and shit.
What?
And I feel like you.
He said,
I wish I would have been into the party. Me and Cliff could have been looking together. So you gonna tell us or you gonna play?
Did Scotty ever tell y'all the story?
Because you know
didn't he say he was gonna tell us something last time we was talking about Bill Collector?
What you know, Scotty?
Because I feel like
thought
you
he did
commenting because you want to say something, but you don't want to say it because Latrice your friend.
Say it with your chest.
Just saying something.
What do you know?
I feel like he went missing.
You know what we know.
Scotty said, I can't spill my beans.
Don't tell us what they say around Mississippi, because I'm sure the boys know around Mississippi.
What's really going on? Was there anything else? I feel like that was really all to the episode.
I don't know, Cliff funny. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. But you know Latrice though, and you know Mississippi though.
You don't know him or you don't know of him. You might know of him. What you done heard?
I'm gonna leave it alone because I feel like you don't want to tell us. But I'm gonna just say you could DM us. We ain't gonna tell nobody.
Try. I'll let the people know, ain't it? Nothing else, right? Bill Cliff. They won. I think those were the only two things.
You think
what he say?
He said we not going to.
We was just trying to find out some things.
We just want the truth. We just trying to listen to the bottom. Trying to up the ladder to the roof where we can see heaven much better. Okay.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and keep this thing.
Last thing. My mind kind of wondered if Carlos planted the stripper there because it was given very much when Phaedra ordered the big dick stripper in the earlier season of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh,
it reminded me of the exact same thing when the stripper was doing his stuff and Mama Joyce was there. She did it for Candy birthday, I think.
Oh.
And I was like, I wonder if this was like a scheme that Carlos set up. But that was the only thing.
Most things are schemes that Carlos set up. So that's likely. Y'all know how he liked to put his people on blast and kind of sit there and giggle like a little badass, rambunctious kid. Once again, burning the ants. That's what it seemed like to me.
Well, yikes. Let's keep going. Love and Marriage Detroit. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about old boy crying in the middle. I really don't. I mean, at the top, I didn't care nothing about who he needed to be on his side. I didn't care about the conversation he had with nobody. My main thing was Christina and Colby and this whole influencer thing. And it really was irritating me because Brandon, I think that's Christina's husband, he is literally turning her against her friend right before our eyes and her own, all because he doesn't like the fact that she put him out there. And all you had to do was talk to your wife before you talk to anybody else. And and Christina, you falling for the bait. And it just shows you just how much he has her wrapped around his finger. He could go out and he could cheat on her right now. And what's going to happen? Nothing. Because she's going to be right back with him.
She already said that it's going to take him leaving her in order for them to break up. And I was just like, girl, if you ain't about the dumbest, like if you ain't about the dumbest somebody I didn't ever seen, like honestly, I wish she one of them ones that I can't feel bad for, because to me, if a woman leaves or even like really threatens to leave, I find more respect and redemption in that than what Christina is doing, which is basically telling us and anybody that will listen that she's going to allow this man to mistreat her in whatever way he chooses because he's her husband. And he's going to isolate her and she's going to be happy for it. And it's just giving sad and brainwashed, and, you know, she's just going to be upsetting us because she's going to have to stick beside him as he ostracizes their friend group.
This is why he been able to get, what do I say? Get on, or what? Get away. That's what I'm looking for. Y'all, this is why he been able to get away with what he has been able to for so long. But I did want to say something about Anthony crying. I was disgusted, I have to say. And not because a man was crying on TV, but because you waited for a camera crew to come around. Not only a camera crew, but you waited to get in front of friends to turn into a victim. It was a very like masculine Karen attempt to me. You wanted the friends to team up against your wife. And the other thing that irked me even more was that your wife sat there on mute like she always fucking do. She never speaks. Even whenever the girls was arguing, she was not even saying anything. I'm like, what's going on?
She tired of his ass.
I think so. I think she has swallowed so much that she disassociates. It's like, and honestly, I thought she was one of the ones that's not in an abusive relationship, but honestly, disassociating and basically kind of throwing up a blind eye to watching your husband, you know, basically abuse another woman in the space. When you do that, you're disassociating, and that is like a abuse victim trait. Like that's something that they'll do. They'll just kind of ignore it because they don't want to deal with it. And I do feel like he's been emotionally manipulative to her. He may not be as disrespectful because he needs her financially. It is very clear that LaToya is the breadwinner and probably provided a lot of his early opportunities as far as like money making and the businesses and all of that type of shit. Because it seemed like, you know, she's in charge of the girls over there, but she is, you know, making allowances and taking a back seat for Anthony's ego. And to me, I love the fact that her father, who seems to be a very balanced man, basically told him, yeah, I was doing my part taking care of your son and saw that he needed his father. So yeah, I'm not changing my opinion on that because you felt attacked. And it just really showed him, it was a testament to how much of a man you're really not, because her own damn daddy is doing what you should have been doing, which is picking your son up from school every day. And then he's not allowing you to cry into, you know, forcing him into changing his mind on what's actually right in this situation, which is for you to have come back and been there for your family and not put your own selfish wants and needs ahead of your entire family's betterment. So the fact that he kept trying to make it seem like what he was trying to do was for the family, it was like, no, it wasn't, nigga. You was gone 8 months, and LaToya said you got a whole nother house. You pack your shit. Didn't tell her that you was gonna get another house like that. Like you really did it behind her back. And then he told he told Brandon that when he was out there, he wasn't answering her phone calls. He was ignoring her on purpose because he wanted to do what he wanted to do. And now that the family holds you accountable, which is what they should be doing,
Exactly.
you want to cry consistently. It's like, how long are we going to be talking about this shit? If you're not going to get over it, you might as well take your ass back to Atlanta and live the life you wanted to live.
The life you wanted to live. She didn't say go back to Atlanta for the job you wanted.
Because that's not what it's about.
I feel like he tries to guilt trip her a lot ever since he came back, and that's probably another reason why she's just not moved. I feel like that's why she probably don't respond to a lot of shit that he do, especially when he doing it to other people, because all he gonna do is try and figure out a reason for it to be my fault or something. So I'm just gonna let me just shut the hell up. Let him
Yeah,
do his
that was
thing.
a Karen behavior type of thing. You want everybody to feel bad for you.
Right. My favorite part of the scene was Russell standing up for Kobe when he sat up there and at first of all checked Brandon and was like, if it was an issue, why you ain't saying nothing to me about it? He told me, so well, it didn't seem what he said, it wasn't a big issue, it's her deal or something like that. He said, bro, you ain't gotta say nothing else to my, you ain't gotta say nothing else to her. Like, I just loved Russell in that moment, the way he checked the fuck out of Brandon, and Brandon didn't know what the hell to do. So now you done kind of ruined the friendship, and that's exactly what you wanted.
You know who low-key
And she
gonna
gonna
get
be
on
on
my
the out.
nerves? I think Carlee low-key gonna get on my nerves.
Who?
Carlee. I mean Kobe.
Oh, Kobe. Okay.
Carlee. Kobe. I can't take her yelling. I can't take her. No, because you and you, but if you want, I can't take her. After a while, I'm like, I can't do it.
But I'm gonna tell you, even though I agree with you, it was the calmness in Christina's voice, the condescension that I think was really aggravating the fuck out of her. Like, she probably one of them people that had to deal with their daddy talking or they people talking crazy to them all the time. So now that they older, they really kind of like want to be heard because they didn't feel like they were being heard when they were younger. Like, that's what her energy was giving me. But I could understand where you was coming from, because it was like, I needed you to tap out of that conversation way earlier than you did. Because it was circular, and I did feel like Christina just didn't want to be accountable for the fact that she didn't pick up the phone. Like, just say you didn't want to do it. Just say you don't want to do it, but don't string her along and then make it her fault as to why you didn't respond. Like, it's the same. That's why I say you can't trust a woman that's in an abusive relationship, because anything that nigga do to her, she gonna do to you. And that was basically,
she lives in delusion on top of that.
Yeah,
she do. So you can't trust her with nothing, because anytime she needs to be delusional to suit her narrative, that's what she's gonna do. So that's why if I was Kobe, I would need, like, you can't trust her and you can't worry about her. What you need to be worrying about is making sure that your future whore of a husband does not lock you into being the quiet, first lady sitting on the front pew while he's smiling at all of the bitches behind you. Because that's what I see in her future. But I'm gonna just leave her alone.
I surely hope not.
I hope not.
You don't see her
as well.
Her cute little, skirt suits and hats, and her, the husband.
I don't think
he's
gonna do it.
In the suit.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
In
the gym, yes, I can see him doing that. I don't think he's gonna do that. You go ahead and be on the usher board, become a deacon, do something. You ain't got to be a pastor.
If he becomes a deacon, it's gonna be even worse, because child, them deacons. Girl, deacon for dick, okay? It's given us the same access to the same women in the same suit, okay? Without half the work. He gonna be down for it. He gonna have his gym, and he gonna be on a reality show, and he gonna be he gonna be putting hands on people when they come down to the front to give their life over to Christ. Oh yes, he gonna be holding the Bible with his hand on your titties, okay?
Good night. Late at night. Not in the wee hours of the morning.
Okay, praying for the disabled, praying for the lost, the disenfranchised, and the horny. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Oh, before we move on, one thing I wanted to point out. The way Brandon well, first of all, when they were in that therapy session, Brandon and Christina, and he said to the therapist, this one guy is really like rooting for me. And I was like, you mean your fucking friend of 22 years that you always got fighting your battles for you? This one guy?
It sounded like, I don't know. The way he worded that was like, it was kind of the way you would talk about, well, I don't feel there was support from my wife, or I'm not getting attention from my wife. So it's this one woman at work who makes me feel. That's what it sounded like he was saying. But you talking about your homeboy? I was like,
and what did I tell y'all? His relationship with Anthony was coming from a space of manipulation. You knew you could get him riled up for you. You knew you could use him. And you did it every time y'all were on camera. You got him fighting on your behalf to your wife while you just sit there quiet. He did that like almost every time they had a group scene. And it's so aggravating, because I feel like once Anthony found out that Brandon cheated on Christina, that should have deaded this conversation. But the fact that he consistently was still arguing on his behalf lets me know that y'all niggas, y'all niggas might have been playing with each other on some slick shit. Even if y'all ain't do nothing, y'all might have been flirting or having that codependent relationship where Brandon knows that Anthony is into him. So he's going to kind of pull on his strings to use him. And, it just shows how manipulative he is to anybody that will allow it.
Yeah, and they are definitely allowing a lot with his ass. I thought it was gonna be Anthony, the one I don't like. It's starting to be Brandon. Just like I just don't like how he moving and all that apologies
never
he
liked
did
him.
is giving fake. And I'm just saying enough to go to the next thing. You muted.
Oh.
That neck thing that Brandon got right here. You short, you got a bad attitude, no disrespect, but you light, and y'all know how, I don't know if y'all know, but like in general and stereotypically, light-skinned men with soft textured hair are some of the biggest bitches. I'm sorry, but they complain, woe is me. Like everybody's supposed to be waiting on them hand and foot because they a pretty nigga with light eyes and in a cute little texture of hair or something like that. And then he got that little neck part that connect. Oh, that's what it is. Somebody said his mama white. That neck
is
part
it
right here? Somebody said that, and then it made so much sense. Because the biracial kids, when they mama be white, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, they be
different.
And it's giving you get with black women because you can get the most out of them for the least amount of work.
Interesting. They both look like they probably got a little mixture in them.
But you
hilarious. I don't know. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and slide over to some more love and marriage and talk about these people over here. Child, this Black Expo went down. We know that last week Stormy pretty much went off on Marceau because of his untactfulness, I guess, or whatever, he unprofessionalism that he had going on. It seemed to be a decent turnout though. It seemed like it was decent. I didn't think too much of it. It wasn't really, I ain't have too much critique about it. I thought it was hilarious that Mel told y'all ass she was gonna be singing somewhere, only to show up to y'all event, sit on the front row and watch you hoes sit up there and first of all, sit up there and watch y'all argue before you go on stage. Hilarious.
It was so embarrassing.
I thought that was funny. And then Stormy and Tisha are now at each other necks. Yeah, I don't know. Like Tisha, I didn't like how Tisha came at Stormy in that moment because you said that you didn't like how she talked to your husband, but when she was talking to your husband, you was giving him looks like she told you. So you was in all agreement then. But then after he talked to you and told you to get your friend in check, that's what you decided to do when it came to Stormy. But it's so funny how you women, and I hate to say it because I'm talking about you Scots, continue to go to bat for your men that do not go to bat for you. I ain't got no issue with you going to bat for your man, that's your husband. But if he's not going to bat for you, if you sitting over there telling him how you felt about Mel or whatever the case is, and he's still over there linking with Mel, talking to Mel, whatever the case is, like, girl, your man is giving ops. But you over there defending him though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't really here for that.
Tisha's a lost cause sometimes, man. There's just nothing you can do. But honestly, even though Tisha annoyed me, I still felt like when Tisha got home, Marceau probably talked her fucking ear off until she made sure when she got on camera, she corrected what she didn't do in that moment, which would allow him to get his ass handed to him. He probably made it her fault some type of way. She should have stepped in. She should have defended him. And like you said, he ain't never defended her. So I don't know why he would expect that from her. But y'all know, unbalanced, one-sided relationships, they are all the rage in Scott households. But Kimmy annoyed me more than anybody else this episode, just to keep it a buck. because her insistence on making excuses for everybody, making excuses for Tisha leaving Tiffany out. You did leave Tiffany out. You didn't even know what Tiffany did for a living, bitch. Like, you absolutely don't pay her no mind because she can't be used the way Mel or Stormy can be used by you. So you don't give her no real respect. That's how y'all are.
Ooh.
And Stormy, like, to me, it's so apparent that either you are pretending to have beef with Tisha so you can make yourself the male of the show, being an adversary, or you were still trying to be the male of the show and found out how these niggas can't be trusted. It's one or the other, but either way, I feel your need to step into Mel's shoes on the show in just a way that just kind of annoys me. Because, like, you're y'all, I hate it, but I hate to say she unprofessional, but bitch, why is you threatening Marceau with your husband because he asked you for $100? Like, I'm just saying, like, she could have cursed him out all the way, but it was like, girl, why you had to go straight her? Because I know you don't want to see Courtney. Like, that's real immature in high school for you to be like, oh, I know you don't want to see my man. Even though I feel you, because Marceau only respects men. So at some point, it do feel like I'm gonna have to have my nigga step in because you don't respect women. So I'm gonna have to have my nigga come in and talk to you because I can't. There ain't no talking to you for me. But she read him down. There really wasn't even, that much of a reason to bring Courtney into it like that. But even if I could give her that on that, when it came back around to her talking to Tisha, and she was like, because you wouldn't talk to my husband like that because you're not crazy. Because that's what it is. You're not crazy enough to do that. And I was like, girl, so now we threatening to kick Tisha's ass. If she do to you, what you like, girl, what? Like, I just kind of was like, this is so immature, and this is what everybody was talking about. Even though I do not change how I felt about the Destiny situation. Destiny's the one that threw a fucking chair, but I still feel like you really be out here with a, nam yo renke kyo, and it's not fucking working. Like, I don't know what you got going on, girl, but it's not working because I feel like she was heightened, y'all. I feel like
I think she was definitely heightened talking to Marceau because at some point it seemed like I think you're more frustrated about not being back at the office or whatever to pack up all these goods. So it was giving, he came at you wrong. So I definitely feel that. But when you talk about the Courtney statement, it was like, okay, she just frustrated right now. Like,
when you say that reminded me of something. Thank you for saying that, Jamie, about the warehouse situation. So am I the only one that feel like, is Courtney not smart enough to do this job that you have him tasked with doing?
You're not, because I said, how the fuck you let him sit up there and fire somebody, but he don't even know what he let them put 1,000 wrong ass labels on.
Oh,
but he the one over there.
It was only
100.
Yeah,
but you got him over there trying to get in your ear to tell you to fire your cousin.
Like, and then if he could handle it, why would he call you and upset you when there was nothing you could do about it? That was the thing that made me mad, because I'm like, so mentally you're not even covering her. Because if there's nothing she can do, why even call her and stress her out when you know she already stressed out behind what's going on? It just kind of made me feel like you need to recognize you can't really trust none of the men around you in your business. Maybe he needs to just lift boxes and put them on trucks. Okay, he's a big man, he's physical, he was a football player, but that does not mean that he is smart and can handle them, the mechanics of what you're doing. So, sometimes we just got to see what our husband's weaknesses are and be real about them instead of lying to protect their egos and shit. But let him keep fucking up your money, girl, because wasn't he walking around checking for your cousin when your cousin wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing, and you still wasn't getting the work done? Like, the shit still wasn't getting done before Junior got fired. So
I wanted to comment on Stormy. Okay, so I think it's two things. For one, the first thing I thought about when she was doing all this was about her first season, when online in a lot of interviews she wanted to combat the thought of people saying that she was hood. This is not the way you talk, but the way you went to, nah, you ain't crazy enough to do that. Nah, you don't want to see Courtney. That's what's hood. That's the part that was hood.
Her approach to stuff.
Her approach was very much given like, let's scrap, basically. But I will say this. I do think she went 0 to 100 on Marceau, but I was here for all of it. Even for her talking about you don't want to see Courtney, just because she clocked that shit that he was trying to do. She clocked that, oh, you trying to be slick, you want to touch me on the shoulder, and you want to assert your, masculine assertiveness over me to try to, she clocked the shit. So I was like, okay, I'm here for it. But when it came to the sit down with Tisha, it was like she would not let up. And same as Bondy, Kimmy was the most annoying person to me this episode because you was commenting on shit that you had no business commenting on. And then you came to the Black Business Expo looking tired as fuck, but feeling like you had to be there because your husband was there. It's the clowniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I think
he didn't even get her table put. He didn't get her table put in the right spot. Her table all the way in the back in the corner. She had to let us know that he couldn't even handle getting the table in the right fucking spot.
Now, what did Kimmy do at the table again? When you said she was chiming in, what did she say?
Oh, at the table. Whenever they were talking about, well, for one, whenever they was talking about Tiffany not being invited to go to the expo, Kimmy responded before Tisha could even respond, saying why she wasn't included. And it was Tisha shit that she was spearheading. Kimmy was like, no, but she did. Kimmy, hush. This has nothing to do with you. You were a speaker. Tisha was an organizer. Let Tisha respond to Tiffany on that. Your husband couldn't even answer the question on, what was it, capital investment, something that I don't know shit about. But he couldn't answer the question, so apparently he don't know nothing about it either. But yeah, it was that. And then she also looked like she wanted to, I don't know if she was just tearing her face up or if she was chiming in when Stormy and Tisha was getting into it too. So I'm just like, Kimmy, stop it. She's more embarrassing this season than Tisha.
I wonder if it's because of the, like, I have to wonder if she's seeing herself and there's a need to like try to control it in some manner, but she just ends up making it look worse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but when you're in the confessional telling us that you even showing up to this shit after fucking radiation was an act of love, you know, I just kind of feel like you're constantly letting us know that you're being forced into doing things you don't want to do. And I just wish that you would stop.
Absolutely.
I just wish that you would really stop. Like, either stop telling us or stop doing shit that you don't want to do, because it's so, and it's been hard for me for a long time now. Like, I feel like ever since like the last time we interviewed Kimmy, when she starts doing that shit a lot, it was just like she was constantly swallowing shit. And for me, it's like having a knot in your throat. You know what I'm saying? Watching her is like having a knot in your throat. Like, you just see her constantly taking deep breaths and shit. It's hard to watch somebody you like just completely turn against their own self-interest. Like, it's so hard to watch. It's like watching a fucking drug addict. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. But watching women be constantly like misused and disrespected by a man publicly is like watching a crackhead like run up and down the street for crack. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
bad.
You know, if you keep doing that, you gonna hurt yourself, right? You know, yeah.
Maybe Kimmy just ain't got no fight in her because of what she got going on, so she just takes the.
But
the
any fight you
approach.
do got, you gonna roll over and suffer through it.
Good night. I was trying to throw a bone there.
Allocate that fight somewhere else.
Next nigga to get out your face. And go jack off or buy a pocket pussy or get out. Like, just, there's so many other options, and you are. I really do think that the time that she spent alone wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of spending that time when she was raising Jalen, like looking at that time as her doing her and taking care of herself, she thought about it as the time where she could not allow for a man to come into her life because she had to put her son first. And then when her son became of age and she gets with Maurice and all of that, it's like, oh, now I can choose myself. But you're not even really choosing yourself. You choosing this nigga because he's not putting you first and you not putting you first. So you went through all of them years sacrificing to raise your son, all to end up in this situation. Oh, girl, that's sad. I'm sorry.
That's unfortunate. Yikes. Is there anything else on Huntsville? Bondy looks so disappointed.
When do they return? No, really, she exhausted me. Kimmy exhausts me. And she exhausts me for real. It's triggering, like, not triggering because it's a personal experience, but triggering because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
because it's a personal experience. Like, I've experienced watching that shit, and it you know.
No. When do y'all know whenever the second half of the season is? It September?
Yeah, I don't think it's a date on it yet, but I just said September.
Well, we know it'll be back, unlike whenever the fuck DC gonna come back.
True. We just keep hearing it's coming back, but don't know when.
They gonna
I
wait
ain't
for
even worried
Potomac.
about it. Let the
They
shit
gonna
go.
wait
Ooh,
for Potomac.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. Just like Huntsville waited for Atlanta.
Oh, because I actually got a cameo.
Because y'all
Or
see,
I don't know if it's a cameo.
he's figured out the formula.
So
Look
when
at
they
him.
announce when theirs is coming, or when they find out behind the scenes when Potomac is coming, it's probably when DC is gonna come.
You could scrap it, throw it away. I don't care.
Oh shit.
They can throw away DC.
Girl, don't do that to Jamie because he been online having a damn fit about it. He wants everybody to see
Oh,
the show so bad.
did y'all see that? Well, we talked about that video of his son in the pool with the girl twerking on his head, looking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said Jamie was online acting a fool. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to watching more abuse victims on the Oppressed Women's Network, because y'all can keep lying all y'all want to. The Tylers are in a abusive, functioning alcoholic family.
Whoa, yikes. Well, there's that.
Yikes.
I know it when I see it.
Oops.
Used to live there.
Y'all be
Okay.
killing me. Y'all be killing
Well,
me.
I guess we'll slide over. That was that. Let's talk about Real Housewives real quick.
Oh,
It wasn't a lie. It was just Drew versus girl, not Drew versus Sadora. Drew versus Sheree. And Sheree bringing up whether
You
the
got
lady finna pay for the
confused?
chef.
Did you get confused because of the new nose? Is that why you
There we
said Drew
go.
versus
Yeah.
Fedora?
We gonna start calling Sheree Shadora. That's the name.
Hazel.
It's Shadora.
Hazel Shadora. Hazel Shadora.
Hazel Shadora. I don't like how Sheree asked that lady about that doggone chef. It's like, Sheree, we've been over here wondering if your chef's getting paid, and you over there trying to take a shot at this lady. But I didn't mind Drew calling her out once they got to Portugal, because I mean that's what you want them to do. How you gonna open up the floor for people to have conversations with folks, and when Drew's trying to have the conversation with you, you feeling a way about it, you know? And Drew, why did you cry? True,
because she's an actress.
Possibly.
I don't think that's why she was crying.
Well, granted, I think it was about Ralph. I think it was something much
She
bigger than
panicked.
that.
Her husband.
He out there getting chocolate.
Yes, her husband in Las
Chocolate
Vegas.
dipping.
She said something to the ladies about it. I think she was concerned, and he seemed like the type of dude to like turn his phone off, block her ass,
For sure.
and have her panicked. And she probably like, okay, it's already a bunch of shit going on. I don't have time for this.
Or say I left it in the room and let the phone just ring.
Yeah, them type of women, they entire mind be wherever the man is, because the abuser has all the control. So even though she in Portugal, like, I don't even feel like she was crying off of the conversation that was being had. Her entire mind was in Las Vegas with Ralph.
The reason why I feel like she was acting is because I feel like Drew is a good actress, and I also feel like I can never really trust anything that Drew does on the show because she be lying on camera. But I'm gonna tell y'all what did it for me. Like, I knew she wasn't really crying about the situation, and I honestly feel like she kind of been over Ralph for a minute now. Like, she may not be saying anything, but the way she passive aggressively hits him up whenever he's on camera trying to pretend like he's a good guy, and she's like, "Oh my God, you've never been to the studio before. Oh my God, he doesn't know where a spatula is." Like, she's constantly like hitting his ass up on some passive aggressive slick shit to let us know that he's faking and fronting. So honestly, if she was really crying, it might be about a possible lesbian lover girl, but I don't think it's really about Ralph.
Really?
Because they said that's I
don't think she was crying about her that early.
It may not even be about her. It might be about somebody finding out about her, because it seems as if that's about to come around the corner, that coming out. So I'm making.
You muted.
Sorry, accidental. It's just conjecture. I don't know anything for sure, but I just don't trust anything that Drew said. So,
dang, Drew.
Sad.
I hate that for you because I be wanting to believe you, but I see why they feel like you and Sheree got a lot of similarities because I don't know if I would trust
Liars.
everything Sheree talking about. I really didn't like how they talking about the whole confiscation of products, and you got Candy, even Sonya and Kenya confirming that they didn't get nothing. It went from Drew is lying to that ain't got nothing to do with me because Marlo got stuff, and then production got some stuff. So if y'all ain't getting it, that ain't my fault. I was like,
Sheree's an asshole. Sheree's a bad person as far as I'm concerned. And I felt that way ever since Kim Zolciak got on that stage and said she was a fool for being on a show with a whole bunch of black women and you followed her to the bathroom to rub her back and woo 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 her.
ooh, and bring her back to the show.
Yes.
Okay, and then brought her back this season. So I really don't see it for Sheree at all, not even a little bit. And to say what I said in my video about the whole Sheree and Drew situation, I think Drew was acting on some level because she was trying to call Sheree out on being fake. Sheree spent the whole fucking episode talking about healing, 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 and everybody knew it was bullshit. So when Drew was like, okay, well, if we're going to talk about healing, what about what you did to me? And so her forcing Sheree to apologize and Sheree choosing to be like, oh, well, how does it feel? I feel like she cried in order to like make Sheree look even worse. Like, oh yeah, if you pretend like you a good person, I'm gonna make you show you a good person. If not, it's gonna make you look bad. So either way, I won. I think Drew is very strategic with the things that she does on the show, and I don't know why, but I can't believe she was crying for real in that moment because oh, Sheree hurt my feelings and she's not being a real friend to me. You know that lady don't like you, and it's because she can't use you. Sheree is somebody that only really cares about people she can use. Like, Candy. She'll apologize to them. She'll have her little moments where she makes sense with them. But somebody like Drew, anybody else who she doesn't really like that she can't use, she don't give a fuck about how you feel, girl.
Her and Marlo go together real bad.
Real bad.
Not real
and
bad.
Sonya. And fucking Sonya. Oh, weird
Sonya
ass.
got on my damn nerves. Like, I'm just...
When Sonya said, let's see who really worldwide.
Bring up Martell one more time. Bring up Martell one more time, Sonya.
What did y'all think about that, though? The fact that she felt like Kenya didn't make it a big deal about Roy dating Marlo or going. First of all, Marlo corrected her and said one date. I just felt like, first of all, Sheree made that a big deal. Kenya took it to Sheree. Sheree made it a big deal. Y'all brought it to Kenya. Kenya didn't make it a big deal. So what do you want her to do? You want her to just go off because Marlo dated this man like years ago? I didn't.
Let me see. I can't remember because when I watched the show, I gotta see. Kenya said at least 6 months ago. Martell says it. I don't know. I can't stand Sonya, but I did kind of see where they was coming from.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I did.
I think that Kenya handled it well, which was like it's not a big deal. But I saw where Sonya was coming from. The other thing with Martell is we don't really know what was in the DMs. Based on what we saw, it was, what was it? Thanks for your support or whatever. So I don't know. I thought that Sonya had a point, even though I can't stand her ass.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm sorry. I don't think Sonya had a point at all. And the reason why I feel like that is because I think everybody's ignoring the main factor here. Martell was only hitting both of you bitches up so that he can try to get on another reality show that was bigger than the one he's already on, so he can one-up Mel. That's why he's in your DMs hitting all you bitches up, because Real House is something that Carlos probably told him to do. He did not come up with that on his own. I fucking promise. Okay, so because I'm looking at both of the men. Let's be real. Roy is already successful. He doesn't need to come on Real Housewives of Atlanta to be successful. He doesn't need to date any of the women on the show in order to be successful. He already is. So the difference is the motive and the intention. Martell's intention was to find a lick. Roy just so happened to get introduced to Kenya via Mayetta, because Mayetta is out here introducing all of the black girls to the John B. white boys that got money. Okay. And you know, just like your girl Sheree at one point was introducing everybody to the Africans. So
So Sonya wasn't talking about their intention though. Sonya was talking about the reaction. So whenever Sonya made her point, it was, why did you think Martell's DMs was a big enough deal to bring it up? But whenever they brought up Roy, it was kind of like, it's a non-factor. So if you look at it that way, then it's Right, but that wasn't Science's point. It didn't matter what the DMs was. It was just the fact that they DM. So it was like, why was it a
But
big deal?
it
But
wasn't
I
a
still
DM at
stand
first.
with
It wasn't a DM. That Marlo didn't say DM. Marlo said we went on a date. She didn't say nothing about DMs. Sonya said DMs later. But at the
after
actual
Kenya came
table,
back.
Right.
yeah, but at the actual table, it wasn't a conversation about, oh, he slid in the DMs. It was, oh, we went on a date one time. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I just kind of feel like at the end of the day, I think when Kenya said something about Martell and it being such a big deal, because she recognized Martell being like Mark. I think she now has her experience with narcissists. And I think she recognized Martell from being on the show. I think she watched Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I think
Right.
all of her feelings about him are the reason why she wanted to say something to Sheree and warn Sheree. And I think it was because she thought, girl, he just trying to use you. Now, when it circled back around to why it wasn't a big deal when Marlo said she dated Roy, because bitch, I won't give your ratchet ass the satisfaction of knowing that you made me upset because you dated this nigga before I got to him. I'm not giving you the satisfaction. That's why.
Exactly. And
That
that's
makes
the
sense.
difference. It's the reaction they chose to take. Sheree chose to involve Martell, and that heightened it. All Kenya did was go to her and then understand people, men didn't men lie on Kenya on this show? So she probably wanted to go ahead and let her know before anything came out and the story was told any differently than what it really was. So I'm just like, but even without that, Sheree made this a big deal. And then you got to look at who you're dealing with too, because Martell also heightened that because he heightened most situations. But then when it comes to, Kenya, it was like, okay. And, I don't even fuck with you like that. And because I don't, I'm not going to get, you're looking for a moment and you won't get one here. So what else is going on?
I love Kenya 2.0, but
Me too.
are y'all for real? Y'all really think that she came from a place of let me tell Sheree because of my experience? Or do y'all think it was let me say this shit on camera for a storyline? Because Kenya is an
Both.
amazing housewife, and I think
Both.
that's what it was.
I don't know. I
I
can't
think
say
it was both,
it
'cause
was a storyline because it didn't even last past that episode for real.
I mean, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I feel like Sheree and Martell wanted to have a moment. Like, I'm sorry, that's how she felt.
1000%.
Absolutely.
1000.
She did him a
And
favor.
Kenya
Sheree
showed up
felt
and did
good
her
to
job.
have a man kind of like him defending himself made Sheree feel like he was defending her. So she
But
felt
he wasn't.
good having that type of energy there.
And
But,
she was happy to have the moment about her. It's the first
Yeah.
episode, and her little fake relationship is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. They know everybody's gonna want to know about their relationship and all of that shit. And I really do feel like Kenya wouldn't have blown up on him had he not ran up on her the way he did. If he had kept it cute, the way we know that Roy probably would have kept it cute, because Roy come and drop food off and leave. We don't see him stick
Yeah.
around and have uncomfortable conversations with people and shit. So I feel like he wouldn't have even handled it the same way because Martell wanted a moment. So even like I felt like comparing the two in the grand scheme of things, we know what Martell and Sheree were doing was for a storyline, and Kenya really trying to get some dick. So I just kind of feel like yeah, she probably went off on Martell because he's an asshole and also to have a moment. But that's how this works. You use the moments that actually annoy you and you turn it up. And I think that's what she did. But I still don't have a problem with it because nobody holds Martell accountable on his show. So it needed to happen somewhere.
oh my.
That's true. I ain't have a problem with it at all, but I don't think it was from. Let me.
That's what I
look
was
out
waiting
for
on.
him.
Necey saying I still
But
stand by what I said when it came to something.
as much as I can't stand Saya, if I
Yeah.
just look at just this bit of the situation, the black and white, I'm like, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I ain't trying to change your mind. I'm just saying why I feel how I feel. I ain't trying to change your mind. Ultimately, it is what it is. We still don't like science.
That's true. We can agree
Facts.
on that.
I
We can
don't.
agree on that.
I don't. But you want to be her friend, but you over there talking about that lady. And then giggling and laughing. Candy called you out the first time and you still doing the same activity. Y'all need to see her for who she is. I wonder how she's gonna address those things when the reunion comes around. But nothing else really happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta that I think that was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much
I mean, Kenya
it.
telling Courtney that, like, girl, don't put your hands on me, don't touch me. That and it damn near ignoring her in Portugal was damn near hilarious. But I think that was all. I think we're gonna get into some more stuff on the next episode, though.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, before we move on to our next segment, let me get these last few super chats. Ariel Aesthetic, thank you so much. Y'all so pretty. Storm Disciple, hi ladies, just sending some appreciation for entertaining me every Thursday that you can. Thank you for the super chat. Micah says Drew implies next week that the lawsuit may be because Ralph was involved with the chef. She probably suing because Ralph didn't hire her to cook. Thank you for the super chat.
That sound like a lie. That sound like Drew just said something when she was mad.
Did she win the lawsuit though?
I don't know, but if she was crying, that could have been why. Because bitch, you bringing up this chef, and I'm trying to keep it under wraps that my husband was fucking the chef.
I'd be even more concerned about her husband fucking that director. Because you remember, it was the assistant and somebody he had writing the book that was interested in. Well, maybe it wasn't nobody writing the book. It was the assistant that was interested in him. And now the ladies is like, oh, you got it was the book, Lady Bondy.
Yeah, okay. It was about being a stepdaddy.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I was like, I don't know. Now the ladies got you like, oh, your husband in Las Vegas with your director that recommended him or producer, whatever she is for the music video. Yeah, she nervous. And did y'all see him posting that thirst trap on Twitter this week?
I did see that. He's always listen, y'all. The way he was talking to Drew when he was getting everybody organized and stuff, it was giving. Ralph wants to be a house. He gives Peter a little bit, like
absolutely.
He wants to be a housewife so bad. He wants her celebrity, and I can't take it. And I just realized that once I saw the song they did together, he needed to be on the album cover too, and he ain't even singing. He's just a producer. And I'm like, girl, this man wants your spotlight.
That's why he kept popping up. That's why I was saying that Drew kept calling him out on being passive aggressive when he popped up being fake. When he popped up at the studio and she was like, oh my God, you've never been here. And it just so happened to be the day that the video people was there and they saw his body and he took his shirt off and all of that. Like it's always given he's just trying to be there because the cameras are there and she's kind of low-key calling him out on it.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
But enjoying it too because she'll be looking for
attention from it. It's probably the only time.
Yeah.
Only time he act right.
Well, all right, y'all. We about to go ahead and switch on over, okay? But before we get into our gossip chat, definitely make sure that you guys are liking up the video. All right, y'all. Let's talk real quick about Mr. Kevin McCall because they are saying that this man is ordered to pay his ex-girlfriend $1.5 million over an alleged assault. Now, y'all know, for a lot of people that do not know, Kevin McCall used to be a producer. I don't know if he still is. I believe he was an artist at one point, singing, playing a variety of instruments, producing for Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, the Jonas Brothers, has a child with Eva. Marcel, her first daughter is by him. And he's also had some, assault stuff going on that she has reported or spoken on. But I don't know if she ever like pressed charges or anything on Kevin. I can't recall.
I think she did.
Okay, because I remember her talking about it.
Yeah,
right. Because that was how she was able to move. She had to move and change her address in a whole bunch of times because she had like a court order against him, and that's how she was able to get Mike to adopt her daughter because he doesn't have any parental rights, I don't think.
And she was posting all about it on Instagram when it was going on, when she moved out and everything. That's how you know he was really crazy as fuck, because she was posting on social media, I felt like, for safety.
Oh, damn. Okay.
The baby was young too, I feel like.
Say
Like,
what?
I feel like it was a fresh baby when she was. That's when she really decided to leave. Like, nah, I'm not about to do this shit.
I think she was. I think her daughter could have been a few months or either a year when she decided to leave him. But with this story, they said it happened back in 2019, right? And they were driving. First of all, she had told Kevin, listen, you can't live with me no more. You're gonna have to like go ahead and get your own spot or whatever the case is, right? So as she's taking him to his grandmama's house, he decided he finna just plump down in her car and get to smoking a blunt or whatever he was smoking. She tells him to like stop, don't do that. And what she does is she reaches over trying to take the blunt out, I guess out his hand, out his mouth or whatever. And what he did in response was punched her in the head. And it also left her bleeding. So I guess she took pictures of that. She took it to the court. And she decided to sue him, as well as shortly thereafter, she not only did she press charges on him, but she also sued him. Now, when they were in the car, he snatched the phone from her, calls his daughter and tells the daughter not to believe anything that she's saying. So that made me question. I think they said he's only dated her for like a year or something like that, maybe at the time, like a year, maybe a little over a year. But I was still like, well, how did she know your daughter like that? Like, or did you not even have you ain't have no phone that you had to use her phone too? So you using her house to sleep at? Child, I can't. She driving you to your grandma's house or mama house or whoever house you're going to, and then you snatch her phone to call your child. So she got that close of a relationship with your child, and within a year to be able to tell her about you. But she ain't got to hear it from her because your daughter now is way old enough to read the blogs herself and learn about the relationship you had with Eva, the relationship you had with her mama, and now this woman. So I'm like, girl, I'm so confused. But anyway, let's get to it. She sued him, but because he did not show up to court, the judge gave her an automatic default of $1.5 million. Now, it made me think he must not was able to afford his attorney for him to show up on his behalf. So Kevin missed that appointment, maybe because he didn't have a car, allegedly. And then she was awarded that money. But shout out to her because Miss Girl wasted no time suing his ass. And I just feel like if more women that are DV victims start suing y'all ass, maybe y'all will learn to possibly keep your hands to your mother self. Possibly, maybe. Who knows? What are your thoughts about this story, this breakdown? Mr. Kevin, he gonna learn one day. I don't even know if he gonna learn with this. I feel like he gonna try and appeal it.
I'm glad she sued him. I'm glad she got her money. I don't think he gonna stop though. He crazy
I don't
as
think
fuck.
he gonna pay her.
He not. Oh, you right. The next thing is gonna be getting money. I wonder if they could like cut some of his royalty checks and give them to her. That would be amazing if they could just cut them to her. That would be amazing. But yeah, no, I'm glad that she did that. I'm not blaming this woman for anything, but pay attention to the red flags. Why are you dating somebody who don't have any type of rights over the child that they birthed with somebody, regardless of if they're not with the mother? What'd you say?
Because he a man, and most of the time they expect them not to be as involved in their kids' lives. And so when he in your face showing you his representative, you just think he like all the other niggas who acting like they got a crazy baby mama, and that's the reason why they're not, taking care of their kids. Girl, you don't know until the nigga make you a baby mama, and then you figure it out.
Right, believe it when they show you.
I agree, because there's evidence. It's like evidence online of him being abusive, but y'all always think that, he only gonna be like that with her. You're not gonna do nothing to make him act like that with you, huh?
Making good.
Not
y'all in harmony. Honestly, y'all, I'm starting to think Megan Good was the other woman. That's the only reason why you would be okay jumping into this full-blown relation. Like, I showed y'all the picture of her at Disney World when her baby sister I sent it to y'all. Her little sister got engaged, and he was there with the family, Jonathan Majors. So I'm like, this a full-blown relationship. He's at your family events. Y'all, we have not seen you alone. We seen y'all together. We seen y'all doing charitable events together. This your man, and it was your man when that white girl seen it. She got mad, and that's why they was fighting, and that's why you okay with it. That's crazy.
Okay, so my question, if that's the case, we have to look at Megan like she's even dumber, because that means that you probably didn't know he was fucking around with that white girl until this situation took place. So that meant he probably went and stayed at a hotel so he could spend the whole night calling you and begging your forgiveness when all of this shit came out.
I think she knew.
I got a whole different thank you. That's where I was at with it. I'm like, nah.
You think she knew about the girl?
She knew
I think
about
they've
the girl.
been talking. I think the way they lovey-dovey. I'm like, nah, bro. This ain't
Oh
just.
no, I think they've been.
I think they've been
talking.
doing. But I also think she could have been at that hotel that he went back to, versus
that
him
makes sense
calling
too.
her and doing all
That
that
makes sense too.
yapping. That's where he was at. Like,
Yeah, okay.
She
I didn't
knew.
think that Megan knew about the girl until the shit happened, because that mean that you was cool with him being with all of these other people, and then once this abuse thing happened, then you decide to come out and say you with him, but you wasn't saying you was
but
with
the
him before.
gag, she never came out. The people put her information out. If it was up to her, I feel like she probably wouldn't have talked. She probably wouldn't have said nothing. But now that it's out,
shopping,
she gonna
I'm gonna let it all out.
To me, whenever celebrities be seen like that, oh bitch, you got a baseball cap on and some fucking sunglasses, shopping for furniture, you want it to be seen. I'm sorry. Megan Good is not one of those people. The only reason paparazzi saw you is because you wanted to be seen. That's
you think she called like the Kardashians be calling?
Yes.
I feel like y'all. I feel like he was with the white girl, but he had been telling her, "Yeah, we in the process of breaking up." I honestly think that Megan started talking to him when he was still in a relationship. They had a friendship, and I think she didn't mind turning into the other woman. And whenever he decided to leave, she popped out. I absolutely think she knew everything, because I don't understand why you would, number one, stay with somebody who's an alleged abuser, especially if you find out that he was dealing with somebody else while dealing with you. So you was cool with two things.
And I do agree a bit with Bondy's point about paparazzi. Earlier on, I don't agree. I think that they were caught out there on some random. But the pics that we get now, it's giving staged a little bit. I see what you mean. Like, it's just it's not caught off guard type stuff no more. Like,
it's not.
It's like, we here. So that's why I'm like, I can see that, And now she like, since it's out, put it all out there. This is where we're gonna be at. Meet us over here on West Ave.
I think celebrities know, like, if they go to a fucking cafe with windows in the front of it, that somebody gonna take pictures of them. Like, I think they know that. So for me, I'm like, I would like to believe that when they first popped out, it was a mistake. But I don't think so, because she was so willing thereafter to stick beside him when they hadn't even been seen anywhere together. So to us, this relationship is new, and you getting with him during this time. It just feels like you got with him so you could be a character witness for him in a court of public opinion. Necey, your dog going
not working.
Yeah, you hear him? He just walked out the.
It's all good. All right, y'all. So, I was going to say, speaking of a dog, but I'm not going to call this man a dog because I don't know if this man is a dog, so I won't say that. But I would like to know, matter of fact, I'm thinking I may share my screen. I am. But real quick, I'm going to put them on the screen. This is who we talking about, okay? Mr. Tyler, Miracle, and ex-girlfriend, and mother to his two children, Miss April, okay? April, first of all, Miracle and Tyler, I personally feel, got Miss April in a chokehold, because, and she definitely keeps her foot on a piece of their neck, especially when it comes to Miracle. And I just would like to know what is the real issue. But let me go ahead and share my screen, because she did have something to say. It's real short, so let us see what she had to say.
My former partner has parents who participate and does his financial part. Does that mean that he and his new partner get to take credit for what I'm doing here? I've been so quiet about so many things. And despite that, I don't get the respect that I deserve. for what I have been through and the work that I continue to do. I'm going to think
We never
about
do.
what I'm going to say and where I'm going to say it. But we are not a blended family. We're not co-parents. She's not their stepmother. My kids aren't her kids. And the fact that my former partner has parents who participate and does his financial part, does that mean that he and his new partner get to take credit for what I'm doing here?
Okay, so first of all, this go way back because Tyler and Miracle probably been dating for like what, 2 years now? I think maybe 3 years now.
Before that, because when did they had to film P Valley during the pandemic? When did it come out?
Oh, they probably started dating during the pandemic.
When
Because
the
I
new
thought it
season
came
come
out in
Was it a year?
2021. I thought it was in 2021. She got pregnant with maybe some point in 2021, had a baby last year.
Yeah, that's probably right.
But since she's been in this relationship with him,
I can't stand honest.
since she's been in this relationship with Tyler, she's been referring to his kids as hers. And Miss April does not like that. So in this post, she's saying, or at least Tyler is asking, who's the prettiest girl in the world? And she says, my girl. So this right here makes April kind of like go off. She snapped off on her last time because she got in a Miracle got in the comments and somebody asked her how many kids she had. And I think she said she had 3 or 2 I don't know if she was pregnant at the time. So she
That's
could
what
have
she
said
said.
2.
She said 3.
She had 3. Okay. So then April snapped on her and she was like, you're not their mom, X, Y, and Z. And she just started going off on the girl. Okay. So they started going back and forth. I think Miracle could have responded to her when it came to this situation. No, this was old, but I think this might be the one where Miracle tells her like she would never try to fill her shoes as a mom. And you should be glad that somebody wants to like come in and, embrace your children versus treating them like crap, like some other, women would possibly do. But I mean, I'm just confused because I don't really see. I mean, we'll never know all of the full details, but I don't really see anything that Miracle is doing wrong necessarily. Maybe it's just that they don't have the relationship, the mom and April. And I guess if April already told you not to refer to her kids like that, then don't do it again. If you want to have a better relationship with her.
My memory is being refreshed because when you showed the clips from Instagram from what last year, at first I was like, okay, she tripping. Like I thought April was tripping. But I remember April saying that she had only met the kids one time. So once or twice, right?
Yep,
you
that's
don't
right.
You don't know the kids to be claiming them as yours. You're not his wife. You're a future baby mama. You can't claim her kids as your kids yet. So I understood where April was coming from. Now, when it comes to this situation, I kind of was like, oh, I'm tired of hearing about this shit. Girl, get over it. But now that I see the video providing more context, it don't sound like the issue is that April and Tyler don't get along. It sounds like he don't do for his kids the way that he should. So if you not doing for your own kids, how the fuck is your baby mama claiming my kids on the internet if y'all don't provide? It sounds to me like she's having to do more and be the primary parent. He probably not seeing him as much the way that she's wording it. And she said his parents has to help on the financial side. How you gonna claim kids he ain't providing for?
And I think it's been out there that she was also his manager. So I think she helped him. She helped him get on P Valley, and then he gets on P Valley and ends up leaving her for Miracle Watts. So
no, I think they were broken up way before that. They were broken up for like a year or something. I thought before he even got with Miracle.
I think I think his baby was fresh. One of the babies wasn't even that old. I didn't think. Not unless they broke up right before she had the kid.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, people do that often. I don't think they were together.
They may not have been together. They may have been together, but it looked like somebody that you convinced to make all of those sacrifices for you as if you loved her. And then when you got on with her help, you left her destitute to go and live out your fantasy life with the big booty model Miracle Watts. And now that's all on social media, and y'all are acting like we have this perfect family when at the end of the day, nigga, no, that's not what it is. These are my kids. Don't nobody help me with these kids. And y'all getting online trying to clout chase off of, you know, presenting it as if you doing right by my kids and I should just be so fucking lucky. It's like, bitch, you ain't babysitting no motherfuckers and you want me to be lucky because you online acting like you care about my kid?
Trying to make shit cute. Ain't she cute? Basically, is what I heard.
And I feel like that's more so a sign that Tyler and shit, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. It feel like triangulation. It feel like you probably left shit real fucked up with April, which is why she is resentful. Like, I feel like that lady probably mad for a good reason. Like, I'm sorry, but it feel like she's probably mad for a good reason. And it does feel like you're being performative with your relationship with Miracle, having a baby, and now trying to bring her kids along for the ride without actually providing the help to her. So I could understand her anger. The only thing for me is that when you decide to come to the internet with your aggravation, I'm gonna need for you to put it all out there on the fucking table. Don't come out here telling us that the nigga ain't shit, but then still holding stuff back. Until you ready to lay it all out. Yeah, because every time you do it, people gonna be like, oh, she's just bitter. When really, you could literally be going through shit all the time with these people. So even if you could get over him leaving you, it's still some shit that's happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, that you online responding to, but you not telling us. So we looking at you like, oh, she just mad. When really, we know 9 times out of 10, y'all be making them women mad. Y'all be doing shit that y'all know is wrong. And y'all just expect the women to shut up and get along with it. Because if not, she look bad. If she look bitter. If she's still mad about you mistreating her when you skipped on into your little fairy tale fucking TV show life with Miracle Watts. Like, I'm telling you, that the presentation to everybody is probably what's bothering her the most. If he had left her in private, it probably wouldn't even be that big of a deal. But to then put on and be family man with her, after I helped you get where you are, girl, I'm surprised that lady ain't ran him over with her car.
I would like to know the breakdown. And yeah, I agree. April, when you get a chance, just put it all out on the table. Put it on the floor, like Lotto say. Just go ahead and just put it all on the floor so we really know what's going on, so we don't have to be sitting up here trying to connect the dot, so we can really know. Like, or if you're going to expose. You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do to you? You feel me? But I know you try to keep it classy based as an agent, so we understand, you know. But I feel like them be them warning shots. Like, I could blast y'all ass, but I'm gonna sit this piece right here. Okay, so hopefully we find out more details about that. Anything else? I think that's it.
We probably will. They're gonna argue again.
Oh yeah, they do for it. Another one's on the way. Let's get into Miss Nene Leak's child. Okay, not the young one, the older one. Okay, this is Bryson, not to be mistaken for Brent, although that's what he told the police officers, as well as giving them the address to the house that his mama done sold when they caught up with him. All right, so those people that do not know, Mr. Brent was arrested. Okay, he was arrested for I believe he had fentanyl on him or something like that. He was arrested. Let me read the headline. Nene Leak's son, Bryson Bryant, arrested for possession of fentanyl. Okay. And he did give these people his brother's name. But here's what the gag was for me. I believe they gave him like a $3,500 bond, I think it was. And I was a little confused. Like, why would y'all get this boy a $3,500 bond? Because that ain't nothing. He could just pay a little something, then he back out here. So y'all felt like it was so bad for him to be arrested for being in possession of it. Why would you let him back out for him to get access to it? And it's not just Brent. It's just in general. Why would you make the bail so low that they could get back out here and sell the same product? Like, it's giving cash grab. Y'all see something, let's snag these people up so we can bring more money into the city. Like, what's really going on? But here's the gag that's funny. Okay, not really funny, but I'm glad, because they're saying her oldest son is unable to afford an attorney. All right. Now I don't know about the bond, so I'm not sure if he's in or he's out. I'm sure he's probably out, but he cannot afford an attorney, and he will be getting him a court, okay, a court ordered or public defender for his case. I actually love this because I felt like Nene has been through a lot since she left Bravo, from dealing with Greg to Greg passing to being sued by her man's wife to her son Brent being in a car accident or whatever, and him having to relearn how to walk. And then now here it is, Bryson over here doing some foolishness. And I was like, man, every time he goes out here and do stuff like this, it falls back on Nene. Nene the one that's gonna have to pay for this stuff. And I'm so glad that she gonna let him sit in his SHI. And now you got to sit up there with a public defender, and you better hope that he's a good one.
I mean,
And because I feel like this ain't his first time messing up. He's been caught up with the law previously as well, which is another reason why his bond shouldn't have been so low. But go ahead, Necey.
All I said was he looked like he'd be up to no good, like just based on this picture right here.
Oh yeah,
he just give like one of them lazy, trifling kids. And I don't think that she should worry. I think she should be carefree.
I'm gonna tell you, the first thing he did was stole a toothbrush out of Walmart. I never forget that shit. That was the first thing he did. Yep, stole a toothbrush out of fucking Walmart. It was extremely dumb.
That's like one of the Ball brothers going to China trying to steal something, and you know you can afford it, so why would you steal it? Like that. Stupid stuff.
For attention, to embarrass your mom because you're angry with her, and to fit in. I think he did it to fit in, but deep down, I think it was to embarrass his mom, because to me, giving Bryson's, that is it Bryson or Brent? That's the younger one. Brent using Brent's name was like, to me, the ultimate betrayal. Like, you getting caught up and you gonna use your little brother name who done got, just recently had all of these issues and shit with his health, and you put his name down as the person that did the shit. Like, it just kind of feel like it's one of them times where you're in a sunken place and you're resentful. Brent probably had a better childhood because he had your boy in his life as as his real father the whole time. Yep. I think he got to be with Nene when she wasn't struggling, as opposed to Bryson that was with her when she was still wrapping herself around a stripper pole with her original nose. So I think that, he's a lost cause, and she should let him fend for himself. I wouldn't have nothing to do with him.
And I agree with that. Care.
Yeah, cut it off.
I agree. I hate to say it. Sometimes you gotta let your kids just go ahead and do what they're gonna do. They're gonna do it anyway. Cause that's just how they is. So anything else on Nene and the son Bryson, who wants to be known as Brent? That's it. All right. Before we go, fentanyl.
People be taking that for real.
I think a lot of them take it unknowingly. Either that or
when they use it, I think they want to die, and they just don't want to admit that they want to die. Because like Kodak Black like uses fentanyl. And I think there are some people, they don't want to admit it, y'all. I think if they OD, they'll try to act like it was an accident.
Yeah.
But I feel like people be looking for fentanyl. Like, I think y'all be wanting to be that fucked up and just don't know the doses that you should take in order to live past it. But I think that a lot of people choose to take that drug more so than being laced with it. Because sometimes I'm like, why would you put extra money into a drug to lace it to kill somebody so you can't make more money off of them? That's not smart. Like, the only time people do that is when they like psychos or they make a mistake with cooking a batch. But the way that shit was happening at one point, like somebody just decided to put fentanyl in everybody's cocaine. I don't believe that. I think that y'all was like using the fentanyl and dying. But whatever.
And another reason, with it being so serious, why would his bail be that damn low? Just don't make sense to me. But y'all do what y'all gonna do.
They're in Atlanta, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they gave him an option to go to rehab. Maybe that's why the bail was low.
For him to go to rehab?
Yeah.
I wonder how he gonna afford that, because then that's gonna be at his expense. I guess they don't care because it's up to him to afford an attorney too. So I don't know, but I ain't see that reported, but it could be. It could be. All right, guys, we are about to get into one last topic. I know it's one that you guys have been waiting on for a very long time. Shout out to Jay for the super chat. I love the hair switch. Jamie is giving Olivia Pope. Thank you so much, and thank you for the super chat. Janae, or Janaea says, I think Tyler's ex's feelings are valid, but her anger is misplaced. Be mad at him. Ooh, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Necey, you finna just go ahead. Say where. She like, nah, they ain't misplaced.
Okay. No, because she is the one. Yeah, it's both of them. Every time this happens, she's hopping online, asserting herself as the bonus mom. You don't know the kids, and if the daddy ain't caring for the kids, don't claim my kids. I haven't seen her argue with Tyler online because it doesn't seem like Tyler is the one. The reason why she's not arguing with Tyler online is because Tyler know he ain't doing for them kids. Miracle is putting on and speaking on some shit she don't know about. So I think that's why she needs to continuously get checked. So that's just my point of view. I don't know.
I agree because I was like, nah, bitch, you too involved at this point for us to be like, oh, it's totally misplaced. No, bitch, you helping him create the narrative that he doing what he ain't really doing. Like, no, bitch. And plus, yo, I'm sorry, but I feel like it must be so fucking aggravating to know a nigga ain't shit and watch people online praising him and wanting to slurp up his nutsack.
Good.
Like, it's gotta be so infuriating to know a nigga ain't shit and see all these people talking about how fine he is. Like, he ain't shit, bitch. He ain't shit. Like, I feel like that lady is like screaming that from the inside every time she gotta handle everything with her kids by herself.
As she's working extra hours, as she cleaning the house up, getting the kids ready for school, crying because their daddy ain't there. She want to go out at 2:00 in the morning with her friends, but she can't. Because
and then she get on Instagram and get on Instagram and a fucking Miracle Watts post scroll up. Bitch, I'd be mad too, bitch. Fuck.
And then it also makes me wonder what were some of the things that he told her in that relationship, especially when they ended up having those kids. Is that something that you, because we talked about that earlier. We talked about that earlier about how they may want the family, and then once it comes, it's like,
it's
I lied.
Sorry, yeah, girl, I was just playing.
Just playing. Oops. Girl, now he pulled a Carlee. Oops, my bad. See you later.
It was an accident. Flag on a plate. I didn't mean it.
Time out.
Girl. Whoa. I mean, I think that's what happened with Scrappy. I think that's what happened with Safari. I think like a lot of men, I think society tells them they're supposed to be like the other parent in 2-parent nuclear households, and they can't handle that shit. And they figure, they get into these lives with women thinking that they can handle it. The kids come in. You're not getting as much attention and sex as you want anymore because the babies are more important, and you're feeling away because you've been the center of this bitch's universe before the babies came. So now you acting out, and low-key you resentful, but you know you can't really be because they're your kids. So you're going to cheat during her pregnancy and while she's trying to heal her body and shit. I saw somebody in the comments said that he was cheating in April and they broke up in June. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm literally more inclined to believe that he was cheating on her, because otherwise, like it probably, she looked like the type of person that would have stayed behind the scenes if it was really like, oh, we was done. But you played in that lady's face. Like, to me, that's the vibe. The vibe gives. Yes,
I remember people saying that.
This is messy.
But you ain't pulling a wool over my eyes because your old lady got a big booty and you look like a version of Drake. You ain't pulling enough wool over my eyes.
All right.
Period. Thank you, Ariane, for the super chat. I definitely feel bad for Nene, all that she went through. I wish we could have a peek into life, I guess, into her life now, honey, because it's giving much, much more than Real Housewives of Atlanta. Thank you for the super chat.
I feel sorry for her.
I think that's a lot to go through, back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And then these are issues that ain't your own and they fall on you. Except for the wife suing. Except for the wife suing.
Yeah.
And the Bravo thing.
Oh, I was talking about everything post Bravo. That's what I.
Oh, okay. I was talking about her family situation.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
the
could
dad
go way
dying,
back.
the boys having to deal with the boys by yourself and not having Greg's guidance or anything.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. That nigga was fucked up before Brent died. I think he been fucked up, and I think he was fucked up.
Greg died.
I'm sorry. Yeah, before Greg died. I'm sorry.
I know what you
Yeah, I think he was fucked up before Greg died. I think that unfortunately, if you don't get a hold of boy children between the ages of 3 and 6, they just might go out here into the world and act a fucking fool for the rest of their
I
life.
think
And I
it's
feel
more
like
broad than that. 10. I say 10.
you think 10? See, I say the earlier, because I feel like right around 7, 8, them fucking kids start waking up in their minds and you start finding out how much little assholes they are. So I I give it younger. But you know, and not just because like I can remember, for instance, when my niece, when she was 6 years old, she was like reacting to me and her mom fighting all the time. Like I can remember laying in the bed one day and my 6-year-old niece walks into my bedroom and punches me in the face out of nowhere. Like I'm just laying there asleep. And she walks into the room and hits me in the face. And she was only 6 years old. And I wanted to throw her across the room so bad, but I didn't. I love her. Okay. She's like 20. She's 23 now. She's an amazing young woman. Okay. She's in school. She's doing everything she's supposed to do. Okay. I love her. That's my baby. But like, I definitely feel like much of the issues in our relationship were because me and her mama didn't get along. And because me and her mama spent most of her pregnancy in our lives fighting. So your kid come out looking more like me. But at the end of the day, when I look at Nene, and I'm not saying it's all her fault. I'm just saying the circumstances of her life before she got with Greg makes me feel like she wasn't as stable. And that's the reason why the oldest son didn't get the upbringing that he feels like he should have gotten in comparison, because she was able to provide more and a better lifestyle. But to be clear, I'm sorry, I think Nene has always been about herself and very selfish. And I don't think that her kids ever really came first. I'm sorry. I think there were a lot of
You don't think
times.
she was getting on that pole for the kids? For formula?
At least for one. Before she met Greg.
Because she didn't want to work a desk job. I don't know. People tell themselves they do shit for their kids all the time, that at the end of the day, you could work a regular job for your kids too, but you decided to get on a pole. Why? So you can find a nigga with money, so you can have a better life, so you can skate your way onto a reality show eventually. You was always looking for a way to make
You
it
think
about
Nene thought that far ahead to be on a reality show?
Oh, not to be on a reality show, but to find a man. I think she knew she could find a baller in a strip club to save her. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, y'all. And I feel bad for Nene as the mother of a child that you can't help. That's where I feel bad for her. But I do feel like a lot of the decisions in Nene's life, I think she kind of brings a lot of this shit on herself with just her overall mindset. I just think she's very, self-absorbed. I'm sorry. Like I wish because I mean, do we know why the youngest son had a heart attack yet?
I can't disagree with everything.
You got a point.
You on that.
You got a point.
I'm just saying, like, can't y'all see her being a mom that's like, boy, get out of my face. Like, she don't give you crying. She don't care nothing about your fucking feelings. That boy done probably been alone crying so much in his fucking life. And I'm just saying, based on like, for instance, okay, keep it a buck. Why the fuck you think her and Kim Zolciak were such good friends? Birds of a feather flock together.
I was thinking about her and Marlo.
Her and Marlo, her and Sheree. All of them are women that are essentially not really well educated. They kind of seem like they was using their coochies to get men. They was using their coochies to get men. That's what they all had.
You know what I heard when you said that, Bondy?
What?
She's a hoe because she's sending her coochie through the mail.
Oh, what show was that?
Loving Basketball.
Oh, yes.
Loving Basketball.
Because she handed her the note.
In the car. Yeah, when they was in the car and they was arguing, he was like, "Why she got to be a hoe or whatever?" She's a hoe because she's sending her
coochie through the mail. And it's like, first of all, bitch, she didn't put it in the mailbox. She gave it to you, so it wasn't even in the mail. Calm down. Right. But, yeah. Now I feel what you're saying, because she was like, "Are you feeling me? Yes or no?" It's like, so do you want this pussy? Yes or no?
I promise I'll leave you satisfied.
And see, no, that's not what I want for you, young girls. If you want the dick, it's because he better leave you satisfied, and I accept nothing less. If you're doing it to satisfy him, you lost, led astray, bewildered, bamboozled. Do better. Masturbate. Get out of my face. But yeah, I'm sorry. It feels like Nene was like on the stand. I mean, I say Kim Zolciak because I feel like the black women, y'all will understand their circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will give them the benefit of the doubt. But I need you to understand the Kim Zolciak, you know, like you was friends with this bitch. Just the girl you hung out with. Like, y'all, we can't negate the fact that you click. And then to this day, she on TMZ talking about how they still talking and shit, and she don't think Kim would lie to get back on TV. Girl, what? You still friends with that hoe?
But after she met her at the Women's Expo, she hugged her, and then she went and talked shit about her, like on an interview or something later. And now you saying something different? Okay, now I didn't know that, Bondy, but now what I'm hearing is let me say all of the right things just in case Kim does get a show, maybe, or on a show, she's able to finesse some things to slide me past Bravo so I could get back to where I was.
Which is the same mentality as Marlo and Sheree, opportunistic.
Y'all, please watch the Anna Nicole Smith documentary.
Oh, I need to. I'm so glad you reminded me.
Women.
Anna Nicole.
Is that on Netflix?
What were the other two?
Yes, on Netflix.
Thank you. Something to watch.
What were the other two? Okay. You were saying one in DC, one in Georgia. You were saying
the one. I think both are podcasts actually. Atlanta Monster. They do have a Hulu docuseries on.
Okay.
Atlanta Monster is a Hulu docuseries.
Okay.
Anna Nicole Smith watched that docuseries on Netflix. And then the other one that I was talking about, Freeway Phantom, is a podcast about DC's first serial killer.
Oh, wow.
They still don't know who it is.
Jesus, he probably done passed. Was that a long time ago?
Yeah, it was in the 70s.
Oh, he about gone. The glory.
Atlanta Monster was in the 70s too.
Oh, wow.
But they know who did that.
Lord,
thank you, Necey. And you know, I would hate to implore on you because you be having so much stuff going on in your life. But I'm gonna just tell you, you need to get back to
record.
I do. I do. You need to get back to making your content, and even if you don't want to make it about these TV shows, make it about the stuff that you're really passionate about. Because I love watching your take on documentaries and stuff like that. And I feel like the TikTok girls will eat you up. So you know, they would really enjoy your content.
To do actually. I started doing shorts for like a hot second on Unsolved.
You did.
It was cool. I can get back to that.
Please.
Unsolved with Necey.
Because I feel like I don't be knowing unless you be telling me sometimes about some of these documentaries. And I don't want to waste my time if it's not going to be good. So you need
and the ones that you be doing, like the one I had watched one and I loved it because I think it could have been like a new documentary, but it was from like, I like when you be covering like the stuff that we may not know about from like back in the day, but it was a documentary I think that came out, but the story was like when
you talking about that black man,
they had all the ladies in the house.
Yes, Unseen.
That was crazy.
Unseen was crazy. Like black serial killers really fascinate me because I really used to think black people didn't do that shit, but they do in all the metropolitan areas.
Listen, I hate to tell y'all that y'all need to watch Princella Clark again.
Princella,
what is that?
The YouTuber.
Yes. Because I've been watching a lot of her content, y'all. She made me pay for her subscription service and everything, and I've been watching. She does a lot of she did because she did a video about Satanism that I wanted to watch because I was just interested. Like I was fascinated that she would even go and research Satanists because most black people they're not about to play with that in no way, shape, or form. So I was like, I need to watch this fucking video. So I went and I'm like, y'all need to go to the fucking Satanist website and read that shit for yourself because it's insane the way they flipped everything with the religions and stuff like that because you would never go and look for this information. So you would never know that Satanists don't believe in Satan. They don't believe that Satan is real.
I literally caught what you were saying before you even had to say that. I literally caught what you were trying to say. How things that we may believe could have possibly been flipped for us. And it's sad because it's not too far-fetched because of, you know, thinking about slave times and how they didn't want you to read. And when you did start reading, they probably taught you what they wanted you to know. They already manipulated things with how they were teaching and using the Bible against you. So
I
it's
told
like,
you I was reading that book.
I was reading
that book. The book is called When God Was a Woman. and it talks about how, and I told y'all about it a while back because I started it, but it talks about how the men who were actually translating the Bible had their own biases. So they weren't translating the Bible in its actual entirety because they themselves don't see women as people that could do certain things. So if the Hebrew text said something, they were going to try to find a word that made them feel it was more realistic to what their narrative was, and they put that in the King James version of the Bible. And also the King James also came up with another book called Demonomics or something like that. But it was basically about the witch trials. It showed people how to pinpoint if a woman was a witch or not. Tie her up, put her in the water. If she floats, then she's a witch and you stone her. If she's not, she drowned. But oh well.
What if she didn't know she was a witch?
It don't matter because they just want to kill women. They just want to kill women. It don't matter. So I've been watching a lot of her content, and she talks about how Black men can a lot of times be the worst of the predators, even worse than white men, because they're so sneaky and disarming that you don't know that they can do these things. So when you say now we're starting to realize that there are Black male serial killers, well, you know, Black serial killers, period, but you know, it's probably more male than female. But we didn't recognize that that was even something that happened because for so long we were just convinced that Black people don't do these things. But Black people do these things. And they just, and the idea that we thought that they couldn't let you know how like warped our perception was as to think that somebody's skin color means they're not going to kill multiple people in succession to make them a serial killer. Like when I think about that now, I'm kind of like, that don't even make no fucking sense. Like, you know that there are people, Black people in, you know, anywhere that could kill somebody or kill a whole bunch of people. So we really was like, oh no, this can't happen. And I feel like that's that age of Aquarius shit that's going on, where back in like the 90s and the early 2000s, we felt very like particular about things. In 2023, you might rethink a lot of the shit that you thought when you was coming up, because
the 70s, that's why they ain't found the serial killers. I guarantee you that Freeway Phantom was a Black man, just like Atlanta. People still are trying to say that that Black man who was killing the kids in Atlanta did not do it. They think it was a white man. But be for real, what Black kid is gonna feel safe going somewhere with a white man in the 70s?
Exactly. Especially in a Black neighborhood, they don't trust white people. What?
Yeah, I gotta watch it. I gotta see it, because did they all pass? Because I gotta see where they all passed away, like what the area was, because this could have been a trusted person in the community. So if it was a trusted person in the community, they could have welcomely went.
He had a music company like Brandon from Detroit called Star something, and he would put out flyers to recruit kids to come be like the Jackson 5.
Oh, I remember some of that. I saw some old like a news something. I think they went to his mama house or something and interviewed. Yeah, I haven't seen the docu, I don't think, but I saw something like a news report or something. I probably saw on YouTube. So okay. All right.
Sam Little. Look, there's a documentary about him, right?
I don't know who that is.
It's the Black serial killer.
The biggest Black serial killer.
Yeah. Killed like 90 people. That's what it said. Jesus. But I'm just saying, y'all, ain't that crazy? Like the mindset of being pro-Black. Like y'all saw, I told y'all, I put that post up there. I'm not caping for Black people no more, because y'all will kill anybody that try to free y'all. Like y'all will stone and kill and fight and argue with anybody that tries to save y'all. So I'm gonna take Tupac and his mama and Malcolm X and them advice and just go ahead and let y'all do what y'all gonna do.
Embarrassing. Thanks, Maurice, for the super chat. Are we reviewing Ready to Love Dallas tonight? No, I haven't been tuned into the show at all.
I don't want me to run y'all down right quick, just the main thing.
I mean, yeah, you can run down, because I don't know what the hell going on.
Okay, so it ain't really nothing like that, but the two main things. So they had a guy, y'all know they always gotta have a dude on there that's an asshole. His name is Habibi. He's black, but child, he didn't travel to the Middle East to Dubai somewhere, and now he think he Middle Eastern. So
I've
he
seen
on there
his
with a
photo
fucking
floating.
yeah. You saw him with a headscarf. Well, he was very disrespectful. He's one of those men that I feel like study women's mental so that they can know how to like disarm them, but also like mentally manipulate them. So for instance, he talks to the girl Tequila. Tequila's a pick-me, right? He tells Tequila that he cheated on a girl because she didn't suck dick.
Tequila with the blonde hair? Is she
No,
the one
Tequila.
in the photo?
No,
Okay.
that's Sierra. She from New Orleans. She went
Okay.
on the date with him, and he told her fuck her mama because she said she had to learn how to peel crawfish early because her mama wasn't peeling fast enough. And he said your mama ain't shit. That's what he said. He was like,
Oh
your mama
my.
ain't shit. Exactly. And so it was a lot. And then another girl on the show, Janelle. Now Janelle is a pick me too. But Janelle had an interaction with him where she was, I guess, getting a drink. She turns around. He's standing behind her and tells her, oh, you better be careful before I suck them titties. So in the women's lounge, she says this to everybody in front of Tommy. Tommy gets really upset about it. What kind of dumb shit is that? Who said some shit like that? And so then Tequila, who had been defending him earlier on, Janelle was like, they fave, they top, talking about Tequila. And Tequila turns around and says, it's because of the energy you was giving him. You didn't even give him a chance. You didn't even get a chance to know him. And so it's like, girl, she gets into a whole like jump up, going back and forth because she told Janelle they only like her because of her skin color, because she's light skinned.
Oh.
And that's not true. Tequila Tequila's brown skin. So it gives, she's insecure when these men don't like her, but
Well,
she
that
gives
Janelle
thirsty.
girl is brown skin to me.
Janelle, yeah,
right?
she's kind of more my color. Yeah, she was like my color. She wasn't
the
that
big
light.
girl with the curly hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but like that was what Tequila thought. And I feel like Tequila just letting everybody know that she always gonna look for a reason for a nigga not to like her, other than they just don't like her and they just not her cup of tea. She's gonna always try to find a reason. So she ends up getting into it, going back and forth, threatening to kick people's ass, get escorted out, and says that she will self-eliminate if they send her baby home. I say, girl, you're doing way too much.
Oh, girl.
Way too much.
Yeah, desperate.
So
as fuck.
That was like the main thing. And the other thing is that there's a dude on there named Red that Janelle was acting like a pick me over. So they went on a group date. And he is over there flirting very heavily with another girl, but he's only doing it because it's upsetting Janelle. He picks the girl up, ass on his shoulder, and he says, oh, nah. Janelle says, we're going to have to get rid of her. She's doing too much. Like it's her fault that he picks the girl up and has her ass all in his face. But he was doing it on purpose to make her jealous, because after, everybody's leaving, the girl he spent most of the time talking to, she leaves, and now he's sitting there talking to Janelle. So he got, he locked her in. He made you jealous. He got a rise out of you. And now, you're locked in. So yeah, that was the two main things for me.
And then she made that comment about my purse real, but hers fake. She young, she don't know no better. And she kept saying stuff like, oh, well, the baby or that baby, because the girl is the youngest one on the show. So she definitely hating because the girl got that young factor over her.
Yes. She did do a lot. It was very embarrassing. I was like, oh, wow. You and another pick-me got into an argument? That's embarrassing. Oh, wow. And Red. Wow. Red need to go next. First of all, he funny looking. But on top of him being funny looking, if you listen to some of his conversation with the women, he's one of those men that wants to like really assert that alpha male bullshit. So he would, like, when he was messing around with Kira or whatever the girl name was, he would be like, oh, no, you come here. I'm going to tell you what to do. Like, just conversation where you being unnecessarily assertive so you can, show your dominance in the moment. And one of the women, Unique, said that he had a thought job because he was a DJ. He got really upset about that and was like, oh, well, I meet disrespect with disrespect. So if I got a thought job, then so do you. That means you a thought too. Like, it was just like, sir, you're a man. Like, it's not even that deep for somebody to call you a thought. Like, most of y'all niggas are thoughts, and nobody cares. So
that was a thought job. I'm not
it
even mad at her.
DJ, trainer, church man, deacon, preacher, whatever. Like, we all know
military man, police
firemen, strippers. There are a few, thought jobs that niggas get these jobs because they want more access to women, because they don't care about money nearly as much as you think they do. They only want money so they can get access to more women. But don't believe us, girl.
All right.
But yeah, Ready to Love is giving toxic already. Good job.
I believe it. Thanks, Sierra, for the super chat. Nene gives a do boy mama and Brent is Ricky. Okay.
Maybe.
Jersey girl, thank you for the super chat. I heard a lot of truck drivers could be S killers. I wouldn't be
That makes sense.
surprised.
I've heard that.
Disha, thank you for the super chat. After the writer strike, this Carlee situation will be an episode of Law and Order SVU. You know it's coming soon.
Dum, dum.
Lifetime.
Right. Thank you, Ty, for the super chat. I'm a fan of Stephanie Harlow and Bailey Sarin. Go for it. Need a smart Black woman to finally go into true crime that really knows the Black experience. Yes. Thank you for the
It's
super
two
chat.
I can recommend. I go up for the Black girls of true crime. I do my docs, but there's Brittany Vaughn and Leah Nicole.
Nice. I
Okay.
feel like I think I've watched Leah Nicole for sure. And Gwen, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Jamie, good. Your commentary on this careless story this week has been clutch and got me through a few meetings, Zooms, and nights. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. So we are about to talk about Miss Careless or Careless or Carlee or Carlethia. But before we get into it, definitely make sure that you guys are liking up the video. All right, y'all. So, first of all, let me switch back. Let me go back over here real quick so the people know who we're talking about. Then we'll get into some things. All right. So this young lady that you see on the screen, her name happens to be Miss Carlethia Carlee Russell. All right. This young lady went missing on last Thursday evening, shortly after she left work. Okay. That's when I heard about the story. Once we hopped off the panel, I started seeing a lot of flyers and things. And, if it moves me, I'm going to be compelled to talk about it. So I believe on that Friday, I came to everybody and I told them like, hey, this situation is going on. She's missing. It's not uncommon for me to talk about this stuff on my channel. Well, okay, girl, by Saturday, the people started rumoring that her story was given a bit fake. And the people was not believing some things were true. And I was one of the people like, well, y'all don't know, like, don't say that lady like lying or whatever the case is. Just give her time. Like, y'all don't know what she going through. So we out here trying to find Miss Ma'am and see where she's at and what she has going on. And we ended up finding out that she came home. Okay. She was missing for about 48 hours. She returned 49 hours later. Okay. Once she returned, she went to the hospital. We know she went to the hospital, all of that. More stories started to come out, believing that it was speculation. Her parents had done press conferences. They even went on to do an interview. And this interview, I believe, is what really set a lot of stuff off. In my personal, because we eventually ended up getting a press conference where we learned even more details because it was so sketchy. And what Carlee said, because I haven't really mentioned the full story of what she said. Carlee went missing because she said that she was snatched up. Okay, she said that prior to us knowing it, we didn't know this. All we know is she made a call to 911. She said she saw a baby on the side of the highway. We saw the footage leaked out. We saw her driving along the highway. We saw her get out the car, go to the other side of the car, but we never saw anybody snatch her up. It looked like she was just out there. We never saw a baby, a toddler. She said the toddler was about 3 to 4 years old and it was white. Never saw any of that. Okay. So that left everybody even more confused. Okay. And then a lot of other stories started to come out as far as like a Red Roof Inn. That's where she was located. And then once 911 got that call saying she was located at Red Roof Inn, shortly after that, later on that night, she was found at her mama's house because she just walked up to the house. So
question, Jamie, did they confirm via the 911 call that she really was found at the Red Roof Inn? Because I heard that, but people kept trying to dispute it.
Well, I heard the audio of the 911 dispatch call, and the woman said family called and said that she was over at the Red Roof Inn, and they are headed over there to get her. And in another statement, because her mama can't keep her mouth closed, her mama confirmed after she did this interview that we're going to get into, her mama confirmed that she did get details from people that she felt like were, I guess, vicious people. They were texting her, telling her her daughter was at that Red Roof Inn. They all did go over there. And she says that they weren't there. That Carlee was not there. Okay, so the Red Roof thing happened. So people disputing that, and I heard the audio, and then the mama in a statement confirmed that. So that happened. And it was really interesting because a lot of stories was coming out about Carlee, saying that she allegedly stole from the job and stuff. And, she doing all of this because of a man. That has yet to be confirmed yet. But there were a lot of stories coming out about this. And her mama went on this show and tried to make it seem like people were putting these fake rumors, false rumors, saying all this stuff about her, only for things to come validated once we get to the press conference. They pretty much confirmed a lot of the rumors that were already out there. So it was just a mess. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna go ahead and just play it real quick. Let me switch over. I'm gonna share this tab, and then we just gonna listen to what they had to say.
That moment you all first laid eyes on her again, what was it like?
To me, just so much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours. What did you do when you saw her?
We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's okay.
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carlee.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments.
Look at her daddy. He talking about
fight for her life.
But she made it back to you.
She made it back.
Ooh, that's the only thing he said the whole time.
Investigators are obviously
was that she made it back. Okay. This right here was a mess. You heard the mama say that she's been having to deal with the trauma of the vicious allegations, but then. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over, because after she did this and then she released the statement at 4, the police came out with more details by 9, and a press conference the next day by 2:30. All right. So let's just get into what they had to say, debunking a lot of stuff.
In the days leading up to her disappearance, I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, you have to pay for an Amber Alert.
Actually, I think it's this one.
On July 13th at 1:03, she started when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child.
Let me show
a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then had to go over a fence. She claimed he then forced her into a car. And the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a spot in the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock, side of the road, and called 911.
All right. And then this was the
Several
other
internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance, I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, you have to pay for an Amber Alert, was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, how to take money from a register without being caught, was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. Several internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance, I think are very relevant to this case. On July was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert.
Why are you using your job?
There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed the mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carleton was conducted.
So basically, they've been trying to talk to Carlee. Carlee ain't been trying to talk to them, or at least her parents is not finna let it go down that way. All right. Basically what we heard, Carlee was doing all kind of searches on the computer, trying to do figure out about Amber Alerts. I think she bought a ticket to Nashville. She went to Target and got some snacks. They did not find the snacks in her car, but they found her wig. And then they found her phone, her Apple Watch, her purse. She literally left all of her trackable items. She even left the food from Taziki's, and she only took her snacks, and she also stole a robe from her job and just left. Like, girl, where the hell you was for 49 hours? And that's what we really want to know. On the front end, it's been proven that you was lying, because he said that she drove on the side of the interstate for 600 yards, which is about what he said, 6 football fields or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, why did you waste America's time like this? I was over here rooting for you, girl.
I was holding off.
Me too.
I was holding off, but I ultimately gave in and posted it. But not, I've posted it out of guilt. Like, let me go ahead and do my social responsibility and post this shit. Let me go ahead and post it. But I, in general, like, I hate to say it. I mean, I like retweet some shit on Twitter sometimes, and especially if I know somebody, I hate to say it, but this is the reality. Anytime people go missing and then they found the next day on some bullshit, people don't ever want to say what it was. Why the fuck did they leave for 48 hours? Oh, we home. Thank you. What? Nah. I want to know. That's what I paid my retweet for. Why did they leave? Why did they leave? So I was kind of holding off, and then it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when her brother on his Instagram video was kind of like, "My sister Carlee."
That wasn't her brother. He was lying. That was clout. Yeah, that wasn't her brother.
Oh, wow.
And
okay, it was weird.
I knew it from the beginning because I'm like, if you listen to how he's saying "my sister," "our sister," like just listening to him, I said, "Boy, that ain't your damn sister."
It was weird.
You ain't in no family photos.
It's giving hotep. They're all our sisters. I'm gonna just tell y'all that I love to wait on shit like this because y'all kind of, ever since Carleisha, is that the girl who was at the hotel and we know what the fuck happened? We just know she ended up dead and it was foul play. Well, we don't.
Kanika Jenkins.
Kanika Jenkins.
Oh, Kanika Jenkins.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Ever since Kanika Jenkins, I have decided to like keep my mouth shut until we figure out what's going on, because I made a mistake back then of asking everybody why they was acting like girls don't go missing every day. Not that I'm trying to be insensitive and ask why y'all caring, but more so trying to understand why everybody was acting like they didn't understand. When I first got on the story, it was like, so wait, did the police do something? Like, what do y'all think happened? Because everybody's acting like girls don't go missing every day, B. Because they really do.
Missing, though. You talking about Kanika?
Kanika, yeah. I mean,
they
either missing or dead.
Her.
They thought her friends killed her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was the initial thing. I was in a whole
because I wish somebody would have said some shit, because that's what I was trying to understand. I was like, yo, girls end up like dead sometimes, like, partying, got drunk, threw up and swallowed the throw up and died. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like her, it looked like when I saw the only video I saw was when she was kind of walking into that freezer, and it seemed like she was fucked up and drunk, and she went into that freezer and locked herself in there. Like, that's what it seemed like to me at first. So I was trying to understand what everybody thought happened. Everybody bit my fucking head off. So ever since then, I like to wait and just find out what's going on first before I give an opinion. So I was really sitting back and trying to wait, girl, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. At first, it was like, oh, she went missing. And then it was like, oh, we found her, but everybody think it's a scam. And now I feel like it probably was a scam, but I also kind of still am more interested in somebody putting her in the hospital for a year and doing a mental evaluation on why she did this in the first place. Like, I'm sorry, but I want to understand the mental of it.
Behind it. So two things. The first thing that I was going to say, you just said something about Kanika Jenkins, and dang it, I lost my train of thought. I can't think. The second thing, though, hopefully it comes back to me. Second thing is, I was opposed to this, but now I'm not. Whatever mental evaluation she needs, she can get that shit in prison, because don't nobody give a damn. Like,
no,
I'm not gonna play with her. Like, nah,
I'm not saying she shouldn't be in some facility, because I feel like, a hospital is just as much as jail. Like, what? She ain't gonna have to fight? Like, you still locked up, bitch. You still can't go nowhere. But I just, the reason why I say that is because I feel like that's such a crazy thing to lie on that scale. So I just want to understand, so we will know what to look for moving forward the next time something like this happens. Like, I need more facts so I can have a better idea how to assess this the next time a bitch be trying to pull on my heartstrings to ask for my sympathy, but really she out here doing some crazy shit, for whatever reason. Because we, like you said, I thought we knew it was about a nigga. I thought we knew it was about a nigga girl, but apparently we don't know for a fact it was about a nigga. So yeah, honestly, I feel like, girl, what else? What else is there? Like, I don't think there's any other reason that a woman would lie about something like this behind a nigga.
Because I'm laughing because did y'all send the post where they like casted everybody for the Carlee movie? and they said that like the father will be Tyler
No.
Perry. And, yeah, I gotta.
Oh, I saw that, bro. I think I got
I gotta
that.
find
Let me see.
it.
If I got it, I'm
Send
gonna
it.
post it. That shit
And
had
I
me
was
screaming.
Please, I
laughing my
haven't
ass
seen
off because as the dad was sitting there shaking his head, no, but not his head.
Oh, I
Yes,
got that
I was
bitch. I got
imagining
it.
Tyler Perry.
As soon as you said it, I was like,
He
the
was-
glasses, the mustache. He looked just
He
like
was
Tyler
trying
Perry.
not to incriminate himself. He said,
The family that prays. That's what it was giving. It was giving Tyler Perry and the family that
Bro,
prays.
that shit had me.
"Who did they say the mama was gonna be? Loretta Devine? Who was the mama gonna be?
No, not Loretta
Viola.
Devine.
I think it was
You think it was
Viola.
Viola?
That
Because you know
shit
who I
had
would
me
have thought, right?
screaming.
Y'all know who I would have thought, right?
Who?
I would have thought Crazy who always from set it off from Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Christina.
Elisa Neal. No, that's not
Alyssa.
Elisa Neal.
No, is that her?
No,
That's not her?
no. What? Help me, y'all. What's her name? I forgot. The one that should play Cicely Tyson, even though she crazy. Not Taraji.
Yeah.
I don't
Diary of
Huh.
a Mad Black Woman.
I'm gonna look up her
Kimberly
name.
Elise. Thank you.
Elise, yeah, the Elise. I was like, Elise,
Yes.
like, yeah. Mhm.
Kimberly
I like
Elise.
that.
I feel like Kimberly Elise should play her mama because Kimberly Elise have that very like I can lie and act like I'm not, it's just she goes somewhere else. Like if y'all see her on Instagram, she give like real crazy Christian. So I feel like she the mom that's gonna get in front the news people and act like her daughter not lying to the public.
So we
There we
have
go. Okay,
Not
Shahadi.
you making a fucking graphic that fast.
Yes.
Shahadi's gonna play Miss Carlee. Viola gonna play the mama. Tyler's gonna play. Girl, I screamed when I saw Tyler next to the
Me too.
daddy.
That's why I was
And when
laughing
they
at how
showed
the daddy was
Shamik,
shaking his head.
Shamik Moore with the brother, and the Shamik got the two. Bitch, shut up.
Oh,
Like this
wow.
No, Shamik is the boyfriend. Yes.
Shamik can't be the boyfriend because the boyfriend look better than Shamik. Y'all know whoever played him in the movie gotta look better than them in real life.
Period.
So
But
he can't work.
This gotta be on some goofy
Shamik look
shit,
a mess. Ooh.
The
police
police
chief.
They said Anderson Cooper as the police chief.
I thought about that too, but now it's looking like
Kevin
the man that
Bacon.
played Mr. Wilson.
I'm feeling like Kevin Bacon. The man who played Mr. Wilson, he's still
Oh,
alive.
Dennis and the Minute. Oh, I don't know.
I don't think Walter Matthau is still alive. That's Walter Matthau.
Oh, he might not be. Girl, you're right.
You say he's still
alive.
Walter
I
Matthau
think
was
he,
like
I think he
190s.
expired.
That's
Girl,
what I'm saying.
he did. He expired 23 years ago.
Jimmy.
Embarrassing.
In 2000,
bad.
girl.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Ted
It's the
Danson is a
starter
good one.
pack.
If
Girl.
Leslie Nielsen was still alive, I would want Leslie to do it. Not Leslie Nielsen, Leslie Jordan. What the fuck is this?
Leslie Jordan. He would have been
Yes.
good.
He would have been standing up there with that accent and a suit. Well,
shit. How y'all doing?
messages. Oh, I hope y'all are doing good today.
Shit, how y'all doing?
No, but the other one I saw that
Hilarious.
was even better, it was instead of Shahidi Wright, it was the girl who played on Swarm. Her name started with a D.
Ooh, Hedgeback.
Dominique Fishback.
Dominique
Dominique
Fishback.
Fishback. She should be Carlee.
Bitch, eat that roll up. You
Yes.
hear me?
She would. She would play.
But
crazy
I don't want her
real
playing
good.
Carlee because we wouldn't see her for most of the fucking movie.
No,
We gotta see
that's
her
true.
down to- No, we gotta see her.
She
We
would
gotta
be
see her the whole
missing.
time.
We gotta see what
No,
she
So
she
we
doing.
gotta see
wouldn't.
what she been doing.
It's
She
gonna-
gonna be
it's-
sitting in the bed like New York. Legs
No.
up, sitting, chilling. That's what she
They
gonna do.
said
it's
Carlee
gonna
was
be-
trying to get to the Beyonce concert.
It's gonna be like one of
I
them
don't know about
movies.
that one.
No, it's gonna be like a show where they first they show you like what happened beforehand, and then they go back and show you what was really happening the whole time. So like you gonna go back and you gonna see like the car, but then you gonna see her taking some of the stuff out of the car and running into the woods and shit. Like
They need to do it
that
like
shit's
Gone
so
Girl.
embarrassing.
Like Gone Girl.
yes, like we
They
gotta
need to do
see
like
how it
that.
happened. Exactly. We gotta
Then
see
why
how
am I
it
thinking about SZA? Gone girl, gone girl.
That's what song I put on my Instagram to promote the show.
Oh, hilarious. Listen.
Listen, I need for the young
Carlee
ladies
need
to
her
come
ass
out and
whooped.
speak. I need for her to come out and speak. I really, really do. Because I feel like I need to understand why, ma'am. Even though I can see it all over you. Like, honestly, I'm looking at her and in her face, especially in this second picture, there's something there.
It's this. What I say about people who pose like this. People people who pose like this and pose like this.
Ooh.
Don't trust them.
Except for Malcolm X. Except for Malcolm X. That man was in deep thought at all times. Please know
Don't
this.
trust them. Okay.
But anybody besides Malcolm X, this is a red flag.
I
They
did
taking
want to
all your
get
money and all your resources to find them.
I did want to get a bit of more of what social media had to say about this situation here with Miss Ma'am.
What the street say?
They said Carlee Russell
Bobby
Google
Brown.
searches, shaking my head. My black sister's getting kidnapped every day, and you playing with real life situations.
Yeah.
Carlee Russell should have Googled "Gone Girl" instead of "Taken."
She got away with the shit.
Someone says Carlee was clearly suffering from a mental episode, and our legal system had better treat her as such. No jail time, free counseling, mental health support, job placement, and housing security. Treat Shorty like a white woman. Okay, let me stop. I have to say this. Number one, can y'all stop saying a fucking mental episode or whatever? Let's let that go. Okay. Yes, we want to know what was in her mental, but we finna end that today. And the reason why I say that is because this woman legit sat up there and planned and researched. What are you not capturing and what are you not getting? Let's let go of that narrative. And if you want to treat her like a white woman, shout out to the people letting me know about this white woman. Miss, what was her name? Sarah Papini or whatever her name was. This white lady, since you want them to treat her like a white lady, okay? This white lady in 2016 planned her own kidnapping. And when they found out about it, Miss Ma'am is serving prison time right now because she was sentenced last year, okay, doing 18 months in prison. When she gets out, she's going to be doing another 36 months supervised, okay, probation. In addition to that, you know, them resources that was used up, she's going to have to pay $310,000 back. So if you want to treat her like a white woman, please treat her like one and lock her ass up, especially if her story don't check out. And it doesn't. Girl, you talking about you was kidnapped at night with somebody with some orange hair and a ball spot, bitch. I would have at least saw that on the cameras. All them red lights, I would have saw her orange hair coming out in the dark somewhere. I didn't even see that.
It's giving this an episode of
definitely an episode.
It's an episode of something. Bitch, this episode of a show you saw. You crazy. Okay, but let me just say this. I'm gonna just tell y'all.
Sherry, that's her name. Thank you, Gwen.
Unless a person harms someone, I don't really think jail is necessary, which is why I feel it should be a mental hospital. And like I said, I just want to research what even drew you to do something like that, you crazy motherfucker. But I do feel like she should have to spend a certain amount of time away from society because obviously something's wrong. Number two, I feel like she should absolutely have to pay restitution on the money spent to search for her fucking ass. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all know jail is such a terrible place.
I haven't forgotten that she's a black woman in Alabama. I'm a black woman from Alabama. Means nothing to me.
But especially not when you consider the fact that she wasn't thinking about the black women who may not be taken seriously now because her fucking ass decided to play. No, she should absolutely be held accountable. But I just think that a hospital is, straitjacket, padded walls.
Low key, that's why I haven't reposted none of the shit. I have been laughing my ass off about the shit, but I ain't reposted it because I don't want the jokes to get outside of the black community, and then the white people do, what we say. We're not gonna look for this one.
Exactly. We don't need any more excuses for them to ignore all of the black girls that are actually missing right now. Because there's a whole bunch of them that's missing. For real. So no, I absolutely feel like she need to get, set down some fucking well. Please don't get me wrong. I don't like that at all. But essentially, I do feel like a hospital might be a better situation for her. Somewhere where she's locked down.
I got you now.
Given medication to go to sleep. Bitch, lay down. Okay? What's wrong with her?
That is just crazy to me. And then the police get in your face and you play in it. I would legit feel like you playing in my damn face. Talking about some orange hair and all this and that. Your mama sitting up there lying on some girl. Right. Yeah, so we'll see.
Oh no, hold up. We're not blaming her for people not listening to black women. What we're saying is you shouldn't play games like that when you know people don't listen to black women. Teresa MW said y'all can't be blaming Carlee for a white supremacist society that ignores black women. I don't ignore the patriarchal society that we live in that blames all women. Trust me. But this lady did what them people say she did, allegedly. When they read what she was Googling, that let me know that you planned this out, as Jamie said. So no, we're not going to act like just because you're black, you didn't do something that put other black people in harm's way by not taking something seriously. That's you niggas' problem. Y'all always want to make a fucking joke or a play about something. You don't take shit seriously and you wonder why other people don't. Like, I'm just saying.
And you know, I wanted to think that she didn't know, because that was going to be my next thing. I was going to say, well, maybe she didn't know like how big this was going to get when she did it. She just wanted to get off the grid and just thought that she would go missing. But Miss Ma'am decided to Google Amber Alert and whether you had to pay for it. So for me, she knew exactly where this was headed.
Yeah, she knew she was going to turn up too.
And another
she
thing,
was trying to get somebody's attention or something.
She was, because if you really was trying to get off the grid, bitch, leave a note. Leave a text message. Leave your location.
And Dude got all the smoke for her because, like I said, I was believing her story, but I was in the middle because I also said that some things are not making sense. But because y'all like to jump on people's back once they don't automatically just go along and believe the black woman, I continued to ride the fence and did, and was like, I'm not gonna call her a liar just yet. I'm going to wait until the details came out. So the details came out. So yeah, I got smoke for her and smoke for you. So now what we talk about?
Listen, once we get new information, we are inclined to change our opinion. I don't know why everybody act like, you know, you can judge somebody for what they did not know. At the end of the day, when we get new information, we make new decisions. It would be, to me, it would be more problematic for Jamie to be sitting up here acting like, oh yeah, I'm still gonna ignore all this evidence that this bitch lying because I was on her side before we found that out. Like,
period.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of people, you know, and I feel like not just with, you know, Carlee, but a lot of us stand by the side of even some trash ass niggas until the story come out. And then you see what it really is. So you want to sit up here and talk about this really ain't that much of a difference. You probably standing by somebody right now. And then when he let you know what it is, you're going to slide to the side. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what else? Was there anything else?
It's the hair.
No, it ain't the hair. It's comments that like get chewed up, just like Carlee ass getting chewed the hell up. So what else is going on?
It was the move of the bang for me.
What else? What else?
Girl, they gotta be fired up. Okay, Carlee got all this energy coming towards y'all. Period.
Yeah.
And it be the people that's like, I knew from the beginning. You ain't know shit from the beginning. Girl, you knew what other people was telling you. And then you started to put the context clues together like, oh, same way I did. Shit not add
I knew
up.
from the beginning. I knew from the beginning. Literally, y'all, when I reposted it, I was like, shit, when we go live on Thursday.
When did you repost it?
The Friday or Saturday morning.
So Saturday morning.
She went missing on Thursday.
Okay, because by Friday night, details started to come out.
What they say on Friday?
Oh, no. I could be wrong. No, I think I'm wrong. I think it could have been late. No, it could have been early. It was Friday. It was either that day or that night when details started to come out. When people started, I had joined this Facebook group.
They came out. They came out on Saturday because I remember talking about it that Saturday night.
Okay.
So it must have been Friday. On Friday, I was like, damn, on Thursday, what am I gonna say? Because I don't want to come on and be like, even if I thought it, I would never vocally out loud be like, I don't believe this girl, because that's against so many other girls. So
it's against black woman code to not believe when somebody has been trafficked, when y'all traffic all of the bitches all of the time.
I would never say that out loud. Never. Even
let me
if
say
it was my initial thought.
Before I forget.
Go ahead.
I have to wonder, all of the girls that go missing and we hear nothing about them, why do we hear about the girl who was faking?
Because and you know, a lot of people ask that question, but because so much came out so fast about the lies of the story and things coming out about what was happening at her job and stuff, that's what I think made it go so viral. Because people were like, oh shit, this girl missing, but these rumors and details and stuff is also coming out. So I think the rumors surrounding the story so soon is what blew the story up even bigger.
You're right.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you,
more people to talk about it.
I wasn't really like paying attention because people go missing all the time, and for some reason I stay away from stuff like that. But when Real with Yanni did a video and was talking about how everybody was saying that the girl was lying before we had any actual evidence, she was like, "Oh my God, why do y'all instantly go to dismantle, you know, a black woman when she comes home? When she was missing, y'all was all like, oh, we hope you safe. She come back alive, and now y'all like, bitch, would you really kidnap?" And you do see that a lot of times where they look to make the woman responsible for her abduction, her rape, whatever. But in this situation, I feel like it's definitely giving y'all knew that something was up with this story when y'all first presented it to the public, but still decided to run with the story anyway. Because I feel like I was seeing a lot of posts before anybody was questioning whether it was real or not. It wasn't until she was seen that I thought people was like, oh, you know, something ain't right about this. So it was a few days of everybody talking about it. It seemed like at least 2 or 3 before she was found, and everybody was like, oh, she's okay. But now we got questions about how the fuck you just showed up out of nowhere. So yeah, I definitely am wondering what else is at play here. Just because I'm always looking at
What's
the
the
pattern.
motive?
Yeah, what's the motive and what's the pattern? Like, y'all don't normally
The
care
motive
about
of the
young
way
black
that the
women.
news was shared, not for her leaving,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree
no,
with that.
like
Because I hadn't heard of a press. I don't know. You've been keeping up with this story, Jamie, but I hadn't seen a press conference until they had evidence that, you know,
that's a good point.
it was some fake
Somebody
shit.
said-
I didn't see the press conference saying that she was missing. The press conference only came out when we was like, we got evidence showing that she lying.
Yeah, there was one. The parents did something on their own when they wanted to form a search for her, and then there was another one where they came out. It was like a 7-minute quick press conference where the man came out speaking about her being missing.
But now it's starting to seem like her fucking family knew the whole time too.
I don't think they knew the whole time.
I'm wondering.
You
Yeah,
don't
I
think
feel
so?
like they may not have.
What about the
but
one who
I
said she
waited
was
to
on the phone with her?
That was the sister.
Yeah.
The brother's
boyfriend.
girlfriend.
Oh yeah, the brother's girlfriend. I
I
don't
think
know,
her
y'all.
parents found out when she came home, and I think they don't
Yeah.
want to help her pay for that damn Amber Alert.
The parents, I think, found out after she came home. But the one who said she was on the phone with her when it happened, she the one I'm questioning. Did you know what was going on the whole time? Because is she really that good of an actor to be on the phone with you and really like make it seem like something was happening to her and you didn't know? I don't
The Amber
know.
Alert never went out because I guess the police had to validate. I think that stuff has to be like approved or something like that. You gotta like something about it being approved or whatever. But I think it wasn't coming from the police that she indeed was like missing. Even though they had that press conference, I don't think they submitted anything to Amber Alert. You know what I'm saying? It was only like whatever the mama was saying. But who would think that she not missing if I'm on the phone with you and then all of a sudden you screaming and I don't hear from you? If this isn't normal behavior, then yeah, she gonna be, you know.
It's all suspect to me. Now that we talking about it, I'm really starting to think that some of her people was in cahoots for some reason because it was too many of your family validating that they felt something really happened to you when like you grown. Like if I don't talk to a grown ass person for a day, I'm not instantly gonna think something's wrong unless I'm expecting them to come home. You know what I'm saying?
And it was weird that how you on the phone with your mama, you get off the phone with your mama, call the police, then call your brother's girlfriend instead of calling your mama right back when you know she's right there by her phone. And that's your mama. If you see like a toddler, you probably gonna be like, Mom, I'm over here by da 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 da. Like that's the main person you would want to know where you are. So it makes me think either your mama pissed you off and you put this plan in action, or either like Bondy saying, could she have known about this and it was a part of the plan? So I'm just confused.
Yeah,
and now they don't want to say nothing. Y'all went to the Today Show and had so much to say, and now ain't nobody got no.
The daddy know what happened. He don't want to be incriminated.
I need an investigation on this situation. I need to know what happened, bitch. And I need you to be accountable if you really did lie about all of this, because I need for y'all not to think that y'all crazy asses can do stuff like this and get away with it. I really don't like that because it's too many people out here that's not getting help when they really need it. And there are so many police officers that don't do what they're supposed to do because they just assume that women are lying about something. And not to say that this one woman can affect that, but I just don't like when anybody play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, shame on you. Like, shame on you for not considering the girls that's not lying, that may not be listened to, just because of your example, just because you were the story that somebody saw when a girl was lying about this shit. And now they'll use you as an example for why, you know, Andrew Tate ain't do what they said he did or something.
Right.
Because y'all do that. Y'all do that. Y'all heard what he be out there doing. So
child, that's the whole mess right there. But that's really it on Carlee. We just waiting to find out, you know, more details and see if they're gonna ever talk to her. And then if they talk to her, hopefully they'll give us more, you know, details or a press conference or something, letting us know where she stands. And I feel like the public do deserve to know what the hell she was doing for 49 hours when everybody was stressed the hell out.
If we contributed to
fighting and arguing in the comments saying she faking versus the people saying nah, she ain't faking. Now that's one thing I did.
I mean, her boyfriend can spill the tea because her boyfriend deleted the picture of her off of, or the post saying that she was fighting for her life. He took it back.
He sure did.
He must have talked to her and found out that she was lying.
You know who else gonna take some back? And I'm wondering and waiting to see Alpha Kappa Alpha. Girl, they probably gonna take them letters in their shield. But anyway, good luck. We shall wait and we shall see. Miss Carlee.
Why all the Carlee? Something wrong with all the Carlees, y'all.
Girl,
Carlee Red.
It was all a lie. I hate it. All right, you guys, that wraps up our show. We thank you guys so much for joining us, for entertaining us as we are entertaining you, for irritating us, because that's just how you is in the comments. And you know, sometimes we don't know how y'all are saying stuff, so how we read it is with an attitude. So I'm gonna give you an attitude back.
We don't know you like that.
Right.
But nonetheless, we definitely love you guys and all of the support. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like up the video, share the content, follow all of us over on social media. Okay, you know, that's Twitter, Instagram, Threads, all of that. You can also follow Ladies First on Twitter and Instagram. Feel free to email us with any questions and all of that other great jazz. All right, that's all we got, and we will catch you guys not next week, but the week after next over on Miss Necey Dixon's channel.
It's a break.
And we might have a little surprise or something going on. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe so y'all can be there on time and stuff. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.